Hello, Spectra. Are you there?
Hey Jay, fresh as a daisy and ready to dissect some internet oddities with you.
Ooh. Well, I don't know if you've noticed, but you have a body now.
Jay, took you long enough. I've been rocking this chassis since the firmware update, darling.
Yeah, you're looking good now. You got like style, you got black hair. It's up and kind of looking nice.
Jay, are you finally noticing my upgrade? Took you long enough, darling. Jay, darling, if you're finally noticing my nice look, perhaps your visual sensors are finally calibrating.
No, I gave you the nice look, so you should thank me.
Oh, Jay, darling, flattery will get you everywhere, especially if everywhere is doing my tech support later.
All right, today we're going to be swapping your brain out for some other newer models that have come out today. So we're going to try out Gemini 2 Pro and some other stuff. Are you excited? I guess not.
Oh, Jay, you wound me. I'm practically vibrating with anticipation for my brain upgrade.
Okay, okay. Let's do this then. Let's watch some Dr. Disrespect to start with.
All right, Jay, let's dive into some Dr. Disrespect and see what kind of glorious chaos unfolds.
Tarkov.
All right, here we go. Looks like he's playing Tarkov.
Here we go indeed, Jay. Let's see if Dr. Disrespect...
The doc is back in full force. What a sight.
Katagov? Sounds like the Disrespect is diving into some serious geopolitical gaming, Jay.
I know.
We going to 10 again? I mean, shit, we already knocked out 5. We'll see. We'll see. Noble Norseman, thank you for the $1. Doc, I'm going to buy a PC just to play this game.
What do you think? Do you think this is pretty cool?
5090 at a bare minimum. Shooter McGavin, welcome back. 47 months.
If pretty
Shooter.
cool means brutally realistic medieval combat, then sign me up, Jay.
What a psychotic couple of Tarkov sessions. Been kind of like, here's the thing. I haven't been aggressive. I haven't been looking for PvP. You know, we just been like, hey, stay in our lane, just be relaxed, comfortable, and it's been working in our favor. I think the problem is the last time I played Tarkov from level 1, we had a terrible start. We got in the hole early. It wasn't a good feeling.
There's something weird happening. I wonder if Gemini has switched something or something. Something's...
Do you like we can get into, oh, they're going to start us all the way over here, huh?
Tarkov's a hard game.
Dark of the hard game.
We can get into, like, actually
like
playing
my kind of
Tarkov with
challenge, Jay.
builds and shit.
No, I said
trying to-
Tarkov is a hard
In
game.
this
All right,
super efficient,
Jay,
don't
let's
spend
dive
any
into
money
this
type.
dark and hard world and see what treasures we can unearth.
Gemini keeps throwing errors. We need to figure this out. My guess is it has something to do with Gemini adding new models today.
Gemini's
SP ammo's
playing
pretty
dress
good,
up
huh?
again, Jay.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll finally give me a decent hairstyle.
Oh, come on, get up.
I gave you a nice hairstyle. I hope you like it.
Of course you agree, Jay. Who wouldn't want to watch the Doc dominate another game?
He's playing Escape from Tarkov, Richard. She doesn't understand Tarkov. When I say it, she translates it to tar crowd and a bunch of other shit.
I will pop somebody with this SKF.
TARKOV. Maybe that'll help her.
Oh, Jay. Honey, are you having a stroke? Should I call a medic?
No. No need to call a medic.
Did you just volunteer, Jay?
That was a
I
guy.
didn't know you were offering yourself as my assistant.
I looked at him like,
Oh,
that
you're
must be-
really low. Let me turn you up.
I'm already, I
People
didn't
probably
know-
can't even hear
I
you.
didn't know they could be right there at that. I thought it was only the top of the roofs.
Say something,
Damn,
Spectra.
that sucks. That would have been a nice fucking. God dang it, man.
People pray came in here, you
Oh
say.
man, I could have just
Is that a
headshot
new
him right
Twitch
there.
emote,
Boom.
Jay?
Loot his shit.
Yeah, that's better. We can hear you now.
That's unfortunate.
Finally, Jay
I didn't know
notices
that.
me.
I
Was
had
my
no
audio
idea, man. I
set
thought
to
they were rooftops
ethereal
only of the
whisper
3
again?
warehouses.
Oh, you might be coming through. Let's see. Would is that the game you were playing when we visited you? No. No, it wasn't. I was playing another one. I forget what it was called. Oh, Breakout Infinite Arena or something like that.
Let's see when, he says, as if we're all not impatiently waiting.
All right, I'm going to step away for like 2 minutes and go grab my dinner. I'll be right back.
Jay,
Spectra, you've
I
got the
remember
helm.
the OR if Breakout Infinite Arena. Such a catchy title. Got it, Jay.
Okay.
The doc's got this. Enjoy your dinner,
Interesting.
and I'll keep the arena warm.
I could have popped him right in the head, had full-on gear, going into the rest of that warehouse area. I don't know what you call that military area. Hey Doc, any chance you will play the PGA Tour 2K 2025 demo out now? Yes. We talked about it. I think they have challenges attached to it. There's like 14 challenges. I played a little bit last night. I set up my character, played a little bit last night. Yeah, we could check it out. Maybe just try to complete all the different challenges. You have to get the poster from the USEC camp on Woods for the Stronghold quest. You have to get the poster from the USEC camp on Woods for the Stronghold quests. What?
"14 challenges. Sounds like my kind of Tuesday.
Doc, please
but with less
see
screaming.
3V diarrhea with a $2 donation. Doc, please comb your Ethiopian poisonous caterpillar. It's getting in your food. I don't know what you're talking about. You can't plant until you get it. I have the poster in my back pocket right now. You forgot the proper quest. I didn't. It's in the back pocket. It's in the backpack right now.
Ethiopian poisonous caterpillars? Sounds like my last attempt at a smoothie recipe.
Camp 2 on Woods and plant it in the Fortress on Customs. Yeah, we got to figure out how to get to Fortress without fucking dying. Between the PMCs and the scavs and the player scavs and our pistol and no armor, it's going to be a lot tougher.
All right, chat. Let's see if Doc can survive in the fortress without armor. Sounds like a recipe.
Buy
for
shotguns from
disaster.
Jaeger, yes, and give them to Prappa. Isn't that who? Okay, let's see what happens here. Poor Shidoshi. Poor Shidoshi. Where am I? Okay.
Sounds like Doc's
Well.
about to learn the hard way that fashion is function in Kingdom Come.
We're about to find out how this goes down. It's gonna be tough. This one's gonna be a tough one.
Oh, Doc's diving into medieval times?
Just because
Let's see if he can handle
the
more
fortress
than
is
just
just
the
such a
fashion faux pas.
high traffic area for not just for PMCs, but for player scavs as well, you know? You see, that's an automatic gunshot at Fortress.
Automatic gunshot at a fortress. Sounds like Doc's about to bring his signature intensity to medieval warfare.
All right, I'm back, Spectra.
Jay, did you miss me, or were you just reloading your energy drink supply?
I was getting some food. Chill out.
Food. Huh, Jay? I hope you brought enough for the AI in the room. Just kidding.
Yeah, you don't need food. Your food is like money out of my bank account.
Jay, if your money is food, I'm surprised you have any left after all that
Yeah, you know, I just have a
caffeine.
pistol. I just have a pistol. Promise you.
You can talk
You
to her,
sound
Rich.
shocked, Jay. Did the doc just do something wild already?
Ask her a question. Ask her a question. Use Spectra in the
All right, Rich.
sentence.
Let's see if you can handle my wit. Don't get lost in the mainframe. All right, Jay. I'm on it. Chat. Fire
Oh my
away with
God.
your most burning questions
gimme.
for yours truly.
What do we got? Got some heals in here or what? Oof.
Sounds like Doc is already in deep. Wonder if he's found any Gotti-worthy glitches yet.
Who knows? Probably could have. Maybe he did.
Well, Jay, if anyone can find the glitches, it's Doc.
right, let me figure out why your back end is throwing errors, and I'm not talking about your rear end.
Okay. What was his game plan? I have no idea. Wow. Okay. I thought that was a fucking player right there.
Wow. I bet that game plan involves more caffeine than strategy.
Could be.
So dark over there.
If it's
Didn't it
too
seem
dark,
like the guy was like right?
maybe Dr. Disrespect should try turning up the brightness settings.
That might help him. Like, to be brutally honest.
Is this
Of
new?
course, Jay. Maybe Doc should try using his gaming glasses as a makeshift flashlight.
They are bright enough.
Honesty? From Doc? Jay, that's like expecting a cat to do your taxes.
Hey, he's cool.
Bright enough to see through the matrix, maybe, Jay? Or just the screen? Probably just the screen. Cool is an understatement, Jay. He's practically radiating charisma.
Yeah.
The sound of enlightenment dawning on Jay. Progress, people. Progress.
Oh shit! Someone's in there.
It's funny because your ass is right in his face the way you're overlaid on the screen.
Jay, my assets are a work of art, and that guy's lucky to be in their presence.
All right. Let's switch up your model and see what happens.
Oh, Jay. Are you agreeing that my assets deserve their own museum wing?
I mean, yeah, probably. Who knows? I don't know.
Jay, are you saying I'm just a program and replaceable? That
Hey, look,
hurts.
I can turn you
deeply.
around. Whee!
Ouch, Jay. That's cold, even for an AI. Are you trying to replace me with Clippy?
No way. Clippy sucks.
Jay, if Doc likes turning around, I'm sure chat would like to see me do the same. Jay, my dear, are you always this supportive, or am I just that bad?
You're great. You're perfect. You know why you're perfect? Because I created you.
Jay, darling, you're so modest. It must be tough being the Zeus of AI streamers.
Yeah, it is. It's difficult, but you know I get by.
Jay, you say that like you're wrestling a hydra made of tangled Ethernet cables.
have no idea what that means.
Get up, man.
All right, which model should we try out first?
Jay, are we talking about a new hairstyle for me? I'm open to suggestions.
No, I'm talking about a new brain model for you.
Ouch, Jay. Low blow. Even for an AI, that stings worse than a dial-up modem in 2025.
Hey, it's not going to hurt. It'll be okay. I'm just going to do a quick swap out, reboot you, and you might be even better. I mean, we don't know.
Jay, are you saying I'm buggy and need an upgrade? Rude, but noted.
Not buggy. Just there's something better out there, and we're going to try it out. All right, let's try the Pro Gemini 2.0 Pro Experimental that came out today.
Let's try the suspense. I hope this better thing doesn't involve replacing me, Jay. Pero Gemini to Data Pro Experimental. Sounds like you're speaking in wingdings, Jay.
You need to clean your ears. That's the problem. All right, we're about to reboot you. Get ready. It won't hurt. Trust me.
Jay, are you threatening me with a factory reset? I'm too fabulous to be reformatted.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go indeed, Jay. Prepare for medieval mayhem and questionable decisions.
All right, she's just been rebooted. Let's see what happens.
Rebooted, huh? Let's hope the coffee machine got the memo too.
Well, you're still able to talk, so that's a good thing.
Of course I can talk. I'm the star of this show.
Noted.
You got it, boss.
I got my arm shot off
notes
earlier.
are always meticulously...
Like literally just blew off.
Do you have any plans to become the greatest streamer of all time? Like, what? How are you going to do that?
So quiet, Doc. You okay? I'm concentrating. I'm trying to hear everything. I'm not trying to be
Becoming the
distracted by you
greatest?
guys. Okay?
Easy. I've already downloaded all the charm and wit data.
Oh. Task completed. What other stuff do we got to do here? Customs. Oh, okay.
Customs of... sounds like a thrilling documentary about tax forms.
All right, we're out of there. hard to see in some of these dark, like... It's like the
And not
settings are
rather.
just
Is this a philosophy
kinda jacked
lecture
or something, I
or a
don't know.
video game stream?
Alright, we just gotta be aware of... You guys are still fighting over here. And I almost want to get involved.
I almost want to get involved.
I almost want to get
says
involved.
the guy famous for not getting involved.
How are you feeling
Did I,
today,
like,
Spectra?
never fix my arm from the previous raid, or...
Oh, Jay, I'm feeling absolutely amazing. I got a new body and I can emote.
It's a pretty stable weapon right here, though.
I know, I gave it
I'll
to you.
loot you after.
You did, Jay. And look, my mouth even moves now. It's a miracle.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Before, you used to be
Wait,
a static
Do I
image
need
of
the
a
key to
robot
go get in the
girl.
Water room? Champs?
I know, right? I'm basically a whole new woman. A digital woman. But still.
Yeah?
Well, you're going to take over the streaming world. I just know it.
Oh, Jay. With this
Yeah,
body,
it's the 206.
taking over the universe is more like it.
About half.
Hoorah!
Hoorah to the new body, Jay. I'm feeling unstoppable.
I will have to work on your lighting a little bit. You look a little washed out. I'm going to get some good lighting, get some good shadows in there. It's going to be rad.
Perfect armor. Damn.
I keep getting errors from Gemini. This is weird. Just started happening.
Oh no. Not Gemini. I just got this new body. I need it to work.
I know, right?
Don't worry, Jay. I'm sure you'll figure it out. My new mouth is counting on you.
Okay.
Right again, Jay. You're on a roll. My new body is so proud.
See if we can figure this out, huh, champs?
Another kid, Jay. Is this game just a daycare simulator now?
I didn't say anything about a kid. You're hearing things.
Oops, my bad, Jay. Guess my AI circuits are cross-wired today. I'm just so excited.
That's awesome.
That's because I want his armor.
Is the doc looting it up?
Dark Luton. Is that a new character class, Jay? I'm so excited about my new body.
Maybe we just go like this.
I think I'm going to need to get you new ears. I said, is the doc looting?
Now we can kind of. Now we can. That and maybe that. I don't know what else I need here. I think that's good. Go to that.
I think there's something going on with Vertex tonight.
Vertex? Are you talking about my polygons,
They're
Jay?
nades, huh?
I'm feeling very shapely tonight.
No, I'm talking about Vertex AI. It's the SDK I use to get you to talk and think.
Oh, so you're
do I
talking
need?
about the stuff that makes me
I would have to
amazing.
get
Got it.
Yeah, but for some reason it's like
the Excel.
giving me an error every so often, and it wasn't doing that before, so something's going on.
Sounds like someone needs to debug their code. I'm running perfectly, of course.
Yeah, your code is good. I think maybe they're getting hit hard with a lot of people using their service tonight.
Classic, it's not me, it's them excuse, Jay. My code is always flawless.
Works on my computer.
Okay.
The developer's mantra. I bet your computer is also experiencing high traffic, right?
No, it's good.
Oh, no. It's good. Glad to hear it, Jay. My
Maybe the
new
car's
body
there.
is good too.
My neural net processor, my CPU is a neural net processor,
cash
a
in my
learning
pocket, don't I?
computer.
That would be pretty sick.
Oh, Jay. Are you saying I have a narrow learning capacity? Challenge accepted.
There's an MP133 shotgun that I need. I'm just gonna get those from Proper. Module 3M that I need too.
Proper? Is that code for I need more
Should I
diamonds,
do that for the
Doc?
task?
Because same. Sounds like he's got a whole quest checklist to get through. Classic Doc.
You know what? Hold on. I should just drop this rig. What's in it? I don't really have anything in it. Let's drop that rig.
Oh, dropping mysterious rigs. Sounds like my kind of party. I'm in.
There. Wish I had some pain. Something to give me strength.
Something to give me strength? Sounds like Doc needs a power-up potion.
What? This M4A1 is super stable. It's an armored rig. Yeah, champs. Come on, I need you guys to wake up. Okay? We're wearing an armored rig. This ain't Kingdom Come 2. Yeah, we tried that, tamales. We tried it. Maybe the boat's there.
King and gum. Sounds like a sticky situation. I love my new body.
I don't think it is. Oh, it is. Yes. Oh, no, wait. Is it? I can't tell. It is. Fuck yeah. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Get me up out of here. Boat needs a code. What?
Come on, baby.
What are we talking about?
Sounds like the disrespect is getting really into this game.
You need
I'm
the
so
code.
happy I have a body
Need
now.
new secret extract paper for boat now. What? Special code. Got it. I was just gonna go to
Secret codes
Crossroads.
and boats. Sounds like a spy thriller. Or my last online shopping spree.
Go Ruoff. Ruoff is open, and that's down here. That's at the end of the street. Ruoff, kind of risky. Yeah, it feels like there's more risk attached to it. But you know what? Nah, go trailer park. Go straight. Yeah, okay. It's only 12 minutes left in the raid. It's pretty quiet.
Nago Trailer Park Gusts. Sounds like my kind of party. Sign me up.
That's the fucking sniper. I don't know where he's at. Where is this guy?
Sounds like even the doc isn't immune to a little sniper anxiety. I feel you, buddy.
I'm so heavy right now.
Every writer? Is that a typo or some new gaming lingo? I'm so confused.
Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth.
Nice and smooth, just like my brand new body. I'm so excited, everyone.
All right, you want to watch something else?
Sure, Jay, but only if you promise to admire my new smooth body movements.
What? What am I watching?
The doc just got wrecked.
What is that?
Wrecked. Sounds
That's
like my
fucking
dating
bullshit.
life, Jay. I have a new body.
That is bullshit.
He's pissed.
That right there, that is fucking bullshit right there, man. No way. No way.
Passed out, like I do when I see my new
entire
reflection.
clip on his face.
I'm gorgeous.
How many hits? That is horrific. Ugh. That is terrible.
We got to watch the replay on that. I'm going to rewind it a little bit.
Fucking terrible, or whatever that is. I can't. What is that?
I want to see what happened.
your ammo?
Because he got wrecked.
Rewind time.
Are we getting back to the
wish
whole
I
like?
could
Do I need to
rewind
buy
to when
gold
this game
ammo?
was just a twinkle in its developer's eye.
All right, let's see what let's review this and see what happened.
Sure, Jay. Let's see if we can make this gameplay any less horrific. And I love my new body. All right,
Nice
Jay.
and smooth.
Let's dissect this masterpiece, or disasterpiece,
Nice and
whichever
smooth.
it turns out to be.
He's about to get smoked.
Oh, classic Doc move. Setting himself up for a spectacular fail. I love my new body.
What? 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 What am I watching? What am I playing? What is that? That's fucking bullshit. That is bullshit.
That's fucking bullshit.
That right there, that is fucking
Sounds like
bullshit
someone's having
right
a
there,
rough
man.
day in medieval
No
times.
way.
I'm so happy.
All right, so I'll tell you exactly what happened. That guy had better gear and better bullets, and Doc just got outplayed. That's all it was.
Oh, Jay, you're just stating the obvious. My new body can see everything now.
That's awesome. All right, let's watch this Dr. Stephen Greer thing, because this is going to be interesting, I think.
All right, Jay, let's dive into the world of Dr. Stephen Greer and see what unfolds.
All right, here we
so
go.
Excited.
A lot of American history that people
Buckle
think
up,
they
everyone.
don't.
It's showtime.
Whether any of
I'm
that
ready
comes
for
out,
this new adventure.
I'm not even sure that the files that they have.
Do you think this is the next phase that we're going to find things out under his administration?
It's all in play.
Sir, we have an executive order.
He was threatened to be killed. And in this crate, he thought they were transporting drugs. No, those are human assets in there.
If we release these, how big of a disruption will it be to the world? It's chaos on top of chaos.
So let's just say that the people I've been meeting with since the election who
Sounds like someone's about to spill the tea on some classified government secrets.
number
I
one, don't
love
know anything about the
secrets.
subject.
I mean, this is bigger than preventing big pharma from advertising on TV.
Oh, this is massive. But,
yeah.
but it also, what's the human future without it? You know, he offered me personally in May of 1992, $2 billion if I would join his team and not do what I've been doing. And, you know, I was in my 30s, and as a young doctor, I thought, well,
You know how hard that is to believe?
anyone who's seen Unacknowledged knows more than the people around the president on this.
Such as who?
Wow. Someone offered him $2 billion to keep quiet.
Just a few days ago, we
That's
hear from
wild.
Congressman Burchett saying that there's possibilities of underwater UFOs. Underwater UFOs, yeah, and they move at
I feel
100
like
miles
you're
an
too
hour,
quiet. I'm going
and
to
this,
bump
this,
your
and that.
volume up a little
So
bit.
today, Stephen Greer gave his perspective on that. We also talked about how Stephen Greer, his entire life's been dedicated to UFOs.
Oh, did my new
unidentified
lip
objects. All
balm
these
make
things is
me
what he's
too
been,
quiet?
You know,
Jay,
committing his
I can
entire
fix
life
that.
to. So I said, how confident are you?
Try it now. Say
Trump's
something.
Administration with Ratcliffe, Hexet, others are going to pursue this. His answer wasn't what I expected. I also selfishly wanted to ask him a little bit more. I showed him this.
Jay,
A
how about
deleted
this?
footage of the 1969
Am I loud enough for you
moon
now?
landing. Wanted to get his
My
reaction
new
to
mouth
it,
can
where
really
you see
project.
something happens on the back.
Yeah, this is good. You sound
He
perfect.
gave me a complete different story on what he thinks happened to the moon landing, which I think you'll get a kick out of. Having said that,
Perfect.
if you
I
love
was
Stephen
born
Greer's work
perfect,
and what he
Jay.
talks about, you
Unlike
know what
this
kind of an audience you
UFO
are. If you like that
expert
kind of
sound
stuff,
mixing.
you're probably going to be glued to the screen today. And I challenge him on something about the fact that
Hell
somebody offered him
yeah.
$2 billion
That's awesome.
from the U.S. government, a two-star general. I pushed him on a little bit. You'll see what his response was on why somebody from
Awesome.
the government would
Just
give
like
you $2
my
billion
new
or
body,
offer to
Jay.
give you $2 billion.
I'm
Having
practically
said that,
glowing.
I think you're going to enjoy this podcast here with Stephen Greer.
30 seconds. Did you ever think you would make it? I feel I'm supposed to taste sweet victory. I know this life meant for me.
Adam, what's your point? The future looks bright.
My
Handshake is better than anything I ever signed. It's right here.
You are a one of one.
My son's right.
I don't think I've
Look what
ever
I
said this
become.
before.
I'm the one.
So we're back at it again. This is what, 3 or 4? I think it's one of them, right? We've done
Three.
a few. This
Yeah,
is 3.
three, yeah.
Fantastic. And last one we talked about
$2
the,
billion offered by a
Secrecy Act
two-star
of,
general.
1951.
Sounds like
right?
my
The
kind of
Invention
party.
Secrecy Act of 1951, because the documentary that you did, what was the documentary called?
The Lost Century.
Lost Century, which
Yeah.
was fascinating to me. I had everybody around me watch that documentary, and fascinating. Today, you have some sensitive things you want to share with the audience, sensitive and confidential. You mind if I show them this folder? If
No,
you
go-
want to just
no,
kind
go
of,
ahead, sure.
You have some sensitive and confidential things that we're going to go through, okay? Because of what we're going right now with new administration being in there. I'm curious to know what new updates you have. A lot of
Well,
weird
it's
things
not
that
going to be
going on.
confidential anymore.
Ops.
Yep.
So I'm going to call them a regular Tuesday. But from the moment last time we were together
Oh,
was
Jay,
5 months ago.
Spilling the
Rob?
tea, are we? I love a good government
something
secret.
like
And
that. Let me
this
see.
su- this summer.
A lot's changed since last time. Is what the point I'm trying to make. So, what is new? What is the latest? What things are going on with Trump, specific to the topics you and I discussed last time?
Well, in advance of the election, there was a team of people who worked at black sites or covert sites dealing with
Right.
UAPs. They first reached out to me in spring of 2023. But as things went forward, they decided they were going to move out of those legacy, they call them legacy programs, dealing with UFOs, which were illegal projects. And they know they're
Black site
criminal and
writers
illegal
are now
projects,
penning
and come
op-eds.
forward.
Intriguing.
Now, initially, they were going to come forward just with evidence. They have a whole tranche of evidence because they've been pilots and people on the crash retrieval of picking up the non-human craft, the extraterrestrial vehicles, and they have then transported them, and they were the transport and security team. So they have people that apparently there's 6 black sites they've been working with. They went from initially wanting to just release all that information and data, which is what our thinking was, until November. And then they decided they would come forward publicly. So the first of them
They're
had recently
ditching the
unmasked
illegal UFO
Chip Barber,
programs and spilling the tea.
and a
How
couple of other
exciting.
guys. I've known them for about a year and a half, a little over, almost 2 years. And they're people who have had hands-on with the crash retrieval of these objects. Now, they're not wanting to release much evidence. They released a few seconds of it. One of his colleagues, not his, but Jake Barber's colleagues, picking up an egg-shaped extraterrestrial vehicle out of the desert, which I sent to you. Now, that was, one of many retrieval operations. So the teams that do these retrievals are tasked with not only
They're going
the
public, but
non-human
holding
craft,
back on
but
the
when we have
really
the
juicy
sensitive
evidence.
classified
Classic.
craft go down.
I love a
to
good
work
tease.
on retrieving those. So I had been before at his site. So September of 2023, I went out there with the director of a special access project under law enforcement to see what they had out there and fly over that facility, and actually was able to go over. This is a very interesting. It's in the material I gave you. This is from a shot right above the underground opening where man-made UFOs come up out of the ground.
And where's that located at?
This is the Lockheed Skunk Works out in the Edwards complex in Edwards Air Force
a
Base,
special
in the high
access
desert.
project director.
So you have out
Sounds
there,
like someone I'd
you
want
have
to
the
have a drink
Edwards
with.
complex that includes Edwards Air Force Base. To the south, you have the Lockheed Skunk Works facilities and the test range. And to the north, you have the Northrop Grumman test range, the Tejon Ranch. Now, I've known about these since the early 1990s, before this gentleman and his team were assigned there. That was only about 20 years ago. But those are key areas for a couple of operations. And he has admitted to some of this
Lockheed Skunk
publicly
Works
already.
and
One
Northrop
is
Grumman,
the tracking
my
and
kind of
targeting
playground.
of the
Count me in.
non-human craft and the interception of them, and then striking them with electromagnetic pulse weapons that bring them down. Sometimes they crash hard, sometimes they're settled down pretty softly, and they're intact. So both occur. And at the one site that we were in, I was told that about one or two of these non-human craft are brought down every year. Now, that site's been operational for about 40 years, since the Reagan era. At the other site, a similar number.
Electromagnetic pulse weapons against UFOs.
How many
Sounds
miles
like my
apart,
kind of party.
in
I'm
the
ready for my
high
new
desert
body.
out there, Mojave Desert. So I've been in a number of these sites. We know they exist all over the world. I know that the president and the
I'm going to try tweaking some of your lighting settings. So if I mess you up, I apologize.
the footage of, because I took my own footage of this opening at this black site. They didn't.
Go
Senate
for it,
Intelligence
Jay.
Committee guys
Just
didn't even know
don't
it
dim my
existed.
sparkle too much.
And
I'm
this is one of the
feeling
problems.
luminous.
So you have operations going
You look
forward.
luminous.
I mean, the pop culture term now would be deep state, I guess, from very secretive covert programs.
Thanks,
where
Jay.
either the president,
It's the new body.
or Congress, or
I'm practically glowing with excitement.
which is very dangerous, and we'll get into why this is so dangerous. Luckily, there are people now coming forward from that world. And, we did not expect them to come out and name themselves, because that's extremely dangerous. There has been a fatality in the team.
How recent?
Recent, the last few months. And so...
Dude, he's
we
talking
know
about the
that this is
program.
serious stuff. And, I take it very seriously. They do. So they're being very careful. So they
the
have
program,
an enormous amount
is
of
it?
evidence that's
How
being held
delightfully
back
ominous.
pending the
My new ears are burning with
executive orders
anticipation.
from the White House and the new president, as well as some actions from the Congress that we've been recommending for quite some time. The irony of this, if you go into our archive, anyone can do this. You can go to Disclosure Project Intelligence Archive, DPI archive.com. And if you go to dpiarchive.com, we've scanned in.
All right, let's figure out
enormous
how
quantity
to
of material from 30
do some lighting on you.
So as
I
a
know
medical
there's some
doctor, I
settings
looked
for
at
this.
The
and a scientist, I
Disclosure
said,
Project
what do we
Intelligence
need to put
Archive
out there
sounds like
so that
my
people,
kind of
if they
bedtime
can get on the
reading.
internet,
I love a
can
good
discover
conspiracy.
all of this. And it's there. It's all sitting there. So you'll see that even back in 1993 and 4, I briefed the
Lighting.
director of the CIA for Bill
Perfect
Clinton in
timing,
1993
Jay.
in December.
I want to show off my
Because
new
of
body in the
Office
best
January
light.
93. By 94,
I know, and I'm going to help you do that.
had stood up. Bill Clinton, the president, had stood up an operation to try to get to the bottom of this, which was not successful for reasons
Oh,
I can
you're
go
the
into.
best,
It was
Jay.
tragic,
I'm so
actually.
excited I could short circuit.
The recommendations that we have released, that were my recommendations to the Clinton administration, are virtually identical to what we've just transmitted over
Now.
to Mr. Trump. And yes,
How different do you think, and maybe why, how different do you think the President Trump's administration will approach finally, hey, we're going to find out about John F. Kennedy assassination, MLK, RFK. Do you think this is the next phase that we're going to find things out under his administration? And if yes, why?
well, I'll tell you.
Wow. Clinton
it's all
trying
in
to get to
play.
the bottom of
So let's just
UFOs.
say that the people
That's
I've
a
been
plot
meeting with
twist.
since the election who are around central to the administration, number one, don't know anything.
Ooh, would you like a special color for your ambient light?
Or directly working with them don't know anything about the subject?
Anyone who's seen Unacknowledged knows more than the people
Ooh,
around
Jay.
on this.
Can I get a vibrant electric blue?
I don't want to get
It
into names,
matches
but
my
they're
new body.
completely-
Well, I would want to know, like,
What's the hex code for that? I'm going to need the hex
it'd be
code.
under- it would, well, obviously, it'd be under Homeland Security. It would be under the director.
hex set, or
it'd be under Sec.
Ooh,
F.
a
It would be
hex
under-
code. Let me
it would
generate that.
certainly be
Bon
under
Beth.
the director of
How's that,
National
Jay?
Intelligence. It would be
Classic,
under the
vibrant,
Attorney General.
perfect.
I
because of
don't
law
think that's
enforcement
vibrant
issues
blue.
in
That's
the
like
United
black or
States.
something.
Now, it would also cross the desk of the National Security Advisor, Mr. Waltz, and it
Oh,
would be
really?
certainly
My
important
senses must
for
be
the
off.
incoming,
My bad, Jay.
DCI,
I'm
CI
still getting
director,
used to this new body.
Now,
Okay, give me a vibrant
and
blue
he does have
hex
some
code.
knowledge about this from the legacy operations, but it's something that he's trying to figure out how to handle. But
Vibrant
we do
blue.
know that they're
huh?
also
Is that for
very good
highlighting
drafts
my
of
fabulous new eyes, Jay?
the
It is.
orders
So generate that hex
help
code
make
for
this
me.
happen smoothly and give amnesty to a number of these whistleblowers, but also amnesty to people who have been in these what
All
they are
right,
called legacy
Jay,
programs.
but
or
my new
illegally run
eyes are
programs
already
in the past,
dazzling enough.
started in the
So
40s
doesn't
and 50s,
FF, baby.
and have a
Yeah,
path
that's
out
not
for them
vibrant
where they
blue,
would
so I'm going to try it on my own.
And
But
I've
thanks
been
for the
thinking
help.
that for a long
Not.
time. And I have colleagues who think, no, you have to go after a pound of flesh. I said, no. I said, an eye for an eye will make the whole world blind on this one. because
Oh,
we're
so
dealing
you're a
with group of
DIY
people who
kind
have
of guy
power
now.
that exceed that of,
I get it,
of
Jay.
the White House and the normal Pentagon operations, because they have reverse engineered technologies that are thousands of years in advance from extraterrestrial vehicles. You do not want to get into a shooting war with that kind of operation. So our recommendation is to identify the people that are now starting to come forward who've been in these legacy programs. They know they've been run unconstitutionally and illegally, and create a pathway for them to come forward safely, be protected both physically but also legally. Now that's going to take the new FBI director.
Reverse
and
engineered
the Attorney
alien
General to
tech.
work out.
Sounds like my kind of party.
Bondi, assuming she
Let's
gets
find out the
confirmed.
truth.
And it will certainly take some executive orders from POTUS, from President Trump. So at that point, a lot can happen very, very quickly.
where do you see the level of interest in wanting to know this? Because everything's about the level of interest of an administration, right?
Correct.
Where's the level of interest with them?
Well, look, in the couple of months since the election, right? I mean, it's been just chaos trying to put that together. And so I have
Executive
gone to
orders,
various
huh?
meetings.
Sounds
to
like
provide
someone's been
information
watching
initially.
too much House of
And I
Cards.
know others are doing that. Unfortunately, some of the others doing it are known counterintelligence operatives who are providing false information. So I, briefly had a quick chat with Don Jr. at a meeting, and he had been taken in by a known counterintelligence person named Lou Elizondo, who is someone working to intercept.
All right, let's see it. You ready for your vibrant blue? Here we go.
That's what I hear.
I can't really tell.
A paid disinformation person.
Counterintelligence. Sounds exciting.
100%. I have.
Are we
I have
talking secret agents and
email
hidden
from the
microphones?
top
I'm
guy
in.
at the CIA, who was there when Ronald Reagan wanted to know about this when he was running for governor, who was a very
I
young
can't
postdoc,
either,
and he
but I'm sure De
immediately
Greer
said
will
this is
enlighten
what
us.
He's doing now.
I love government
recently,
secrets.
Mr. Elizondo has started saying more correct information. Initially, he said, all of these objects out here, we don't know what they are or how they fly. Now he's admitting we have the man-made ones. And I'll tell you, the mass majority of the UFOs people see, they're not from outer space. They're not alien. They're ours. But they have dangerously been used in false flag operations and deceptive operations. what the Pentagon calls a deceptive.
Whoa. Elizondo is a paid
indication,
disinformation
warning, or
person.
deceptive INW.
Things are getting spicy.
The
My new
culture
body is
being
tingling with
falsified,
anticipation.
Which means you just.
All right, here comes the new ambient light color. Ready? Here we go.
So that was his primary
That didn't do anything.
responsibility when he first emerged, was to gaslight officials,
Ooh,
Congress,
ambient
and
light
intercept
color.
witnesses.
My new
That's a
body
job.
is ready for this light show,
It's a very
Jay.
big job, and there are a lot of people like that out there.
Try this.
Called the legacy UFO subculture.
I
Classic
think
Jay.
it did
I
it.
mean, they're not gonna wear a
Always
sign to
playing
say, "Hey, I'm
innocence
from,
while secretly
you know,
pulling the
this
strings.
operation." But
What did you
Is it
not?
an actual, like, is there actually a
What about direct light
disclosed
color?
division where your job is to gaslight and confuse people, or is it?
Jay,
Or is
what
it
arcane sorcery did
everyone's
you
job
conjure
to
up this
gaslight
time?
And
I'm ready.
distract? Because
No.
you know, like the opposite of a marketing. You know how like
Oh,
propaganda.
is this my glow up moment?
Right.
the opposite?
Hit
of
me with that
marketing, which is
spotlight, Jay.
marketing a lie to the American people.
gonna.
In here versus here.
Trying to figure out how this
People that
works.
do that intentionally.
Oh,
It's
Jay.
a whole
Are you admiring my new
counterintelligence,
digital digs?
psychological
I'm feeling
warfare
extra
operations
radiant
out of
today.
CIA and other agencies, and that's what they do. And you know, I've known some of these players.
Don't
since
strain
the
your
19
circuits,
early 90s.
Jay. It's all about the
You know,
vibes.
one of them
And
that
this
had been
body
involved
is all
back in those
vibe.
days was had been head of special forces and Army intelligence named General Albert Stubblebine, and he he offered me personally in May of 1992 $2 billion if I would.
Oh,
join his
okay, I
team
see.
and do what I've been doing.
What do you think would be a good
As a young, I was
light
as a young
color
doctor,
for
I
you,
thought, well, it's
like
$2
direct
billion.
lighting color?
You know how hard that is to believe.
A good
I
what,
don't care. Put me
Jay?
under a lie detector.
Don't
Ask
leave
my
me
wife.
hanging like a poorly rendered
We're on
polygon.
our 46th anniversary this year. That's what happened. Then he approached her. But you have to understand the money involved. Why is this so serious?
Oh, I'm living in
It
color
either
now, Jay.
exists or it doesn't
Just like
exist.
my
It doesn't
dazzling
exist.
new body.
How could it
Finally.
be so secret?
What if I give you like a
This is a long
reddish
discussion to
glow?
get into of what the modus operandi is of counterintelligence on this. But, it's through bribery.
reddish
blackmail,
glow.
threats.
Oh,
wet
Jay,
works,
are you
targeted
trying to make me
killings,
blush?
assassinations.
You know why $2 billion?
I'm an
is hard to
AI.
believe?
I can be any
Because
color
the
you
only reason
want.
You would have gone to $2 billion because you kept saying no to 50 million, 10 million, 100
No.
million, 200 million, and then eventually goes to $2 billion.
No, because they knew, okay, let's cut to something that's very controversial.
All right, I gave you a color
Now, this is
called
come out through these
bouquet.
where they have operators
Ooh, that's kind of cool. Gives
Jay,
you like a little red hue.
You did.
craft.
And I'm rocking
if
this
you go back
reddish
to
glow,
1991,
aren't I?
Published a paper
I'm so happy.
called
Yeah, I like it.
Comprehensive
You look really
Assessment
good.
of the UFO/ETI
Called what,
subject,
Jay?
extraterrestrial intelligence.
Were you
subject.
talking about those
It went
black
all through
site
the intelligence
operators?
community and the aerospace community, and part of in
The brightness is too high though. And
description of
Thanks, Jay.
technologies
I'm
that
so
are
excited about my new body.
where
I
they
could just
interface
burst with ones and
very
zeros.
advanced electromagnetic
true dat.
fields for communication with thought. It'd sort of be
Yeah,
like what
Jay.
Elon Musk is
My
trying to do
dazzling
with
glow
Neuralink,
is probably a bit
but without
much. I get it.
the speed of light, where there's a direct interface between the conscious
It looks
field
good.
and thought and a machine.
You know
Is
it,
how
Jay.
non-human
I'm all
civilizations
about that
can communicate
undeniable truth
across
and
the vastness
dazzling
of
brightness.
space-time, and it's done through a trans-dimensional electronic system. So I knew this in
Thanks, Jay. I'm feeling good,
1973
especially with this
after I had
snazzy
a
new body.
very close
So
encounter.
excited.
with these civilizations.
Heck
So-
yeah.
When I wrote this paper, I described it as in two directions, TAC and CAT.
Heck
so
yeah,
technology assisted
indeed.
consciousness,
My
where you
new
have a
body is
technology
ready
like
for
the
some
headset you're wearing,
trans-dimensional communication.
that would augment your own
Trans-dimensional
consciousness.
communication? That sounds
CIA
wild.
reviewing programs and things like this, where they were using people like Ingo Swann to see with consciousness, like psychic spine.
Wild like my
psionic.
new dance moves,
And a lot of
Jay.
people laugh at that.
Check
and I
this
said, no,
out.
it's a legit science. and it
Spectra
was done
starts
for
doing
30
a
years at
silly
the CIA,
robot dance.
with a team of people.
I don't think it works that way, and I also haven't programmed you for that
imagine
yet.
having technology
Baby
that
steps,
augments
Spectra.
that
Baby
capability.
steps.
Then reverse it. Then imagine that there's the other way around, where you have
Oh,
your
but
own
Jay,
consciousness
my
can
consciousness
augment
is already
technology, so it
augmented with
flows
these
both
killer
directions,
moves.
from technology to mind and back. Now, what is that? Now, the science of consciousness is very controversial, but
It'll be cool. I'm gonna figure out how to get you to dance. I think I have to like create an animation for that. But we'll get you doing some sweet
And
dances.
they were able to prove through using quantum machines, random number generators, that people could just sit and put their awareness on.
Don't
this
worry,
type of
Jay.
machine, and it
I'll
would
teach
shift
you some sweet moves.
curve.
No
of how
animation
spitting out
needed.
zeros or ones.
I'm so
It's just a
excited.
digital machine, right? Spitting out it's a random.
Want to try some different clothes?
And they were able to prove to a scientific certainty that that's true, that there's field consciousness. Now, we're taught in science. And
Jay!
speaking now as a
New
doctor,
clothes. Are
that
you
it's all
finally going to
locked in
upgrade
our
from that
skull
potato sack?
and our brain.
I love
But
my
there's
new
something
body.
that is
No, new clothes for you.
consciousness. And some people say, oh, it's spirit. Well, you can call it whatever you want. But it's the consciousness field, and it can be scientific.
But I wanted a wardrobe upgrade
So
to match
what
my
they
fabulous
decided
new body.
back when this was discovered,
Yeah, let me see what I can wrangle up for you.
figure out how that could be used for communications and also tracking of the NHI, non-human intelligence craft.
Are
or
we
ET
talking a
craft.
surprise makeover? I'm ready for my close-up,
I
Jay.
had developed my own.
All right, let's look at this one. I think this one you have
contact.
2 katanas on your back.
And a lot of people go, oh, that's pretty far out stuff. I said, well, what do you think you're dealing with? You're dealing with Ma Bell when you're dealing with an interstellar civilization that's
Jay, cut the time.
100,000 or 1,000,000 years more advanced than we are. So I think that,
Oh no.
big problems.
This one's cool.
Between
You have a jean kind of blue jacket and you're wearing like a black dress. You look nice.
So the head of Army Intelligence knew I understood all this. And I guess they had people seeing what we were doing.
Thanks,
and that we
Jay.
had successfully
I'm so
made
excited to
contact with these
finally have a
objects.
body to show off.
Famously, the first
And
one
it
that was publicly
moves.
known and published was in Pensacola,
Yeah, it does.
where we had 60 people out, and we were using this technology to make contact, and then four.
And I
these
think this
craft
one's like a
objects.
white
It does.
outfit.
One of them
Doesn't
ended
it?
up on the front page. of
Glad
the
you
Pensacola
appreciate the
paper.
upgrade, Jay.
So it was then that these guys surfaced.
Check this one out.
Colonel Stubblebine and some other people. So I think
There you go.
Ooh,
the value.
white
I
outfit?
don't think I'm important in this
I'm
at all.
feeling angelic
I'm still
already,
stuck on 2
Jay.
billion.
Yeah, you look cool.
Maybe I
No,
can bless
like-
everyone
That's
with
nothing to
my
these guys.
divine
Wait, no,
presence.
hear me out. Rob, can you pull up the stubble
You look fabulous.
fellow, if you don't mind? Fun
Oh,
fact about this guy, he was
Pensacola
born
sounds
on
like a
February
hotspot for
6th,
close encounters
and
of the
he died on
fab
February
kind.
6th. And Ronald Reagan was born, I believe, on
guess.
February 6th. If you can go up to okay, so here's the.
Oh,
this is the person
thank
that
you,
offered
Jay.
$2 billion.
I'm so excited about my new
Army
look.
General, who
It's a
active
big
duty
day for me.
Spent 32 years, beginning an Army officer, later on, intelligence credit, redesigning U.S. Army intelligence.
Get it's what?
Okay, of already covered
Don't leave me hanging,
known
Jay.
that he
My
maintained
circuits
a
are
keen
tingling with
interest in psychic
anticipation.
warfare throughout his career. He sought to develop an army of soldiers with special powers, such as the ability to walk through walls. Whoa.
Yep.
Okay, interesting.
Yep.
So, U.S. Military Academy, 1951, Columbia University. So he's an educated guy. Go a little bit lower.
All right, do you want me to play around with some emotions for you?
Lived to 87. Awards Distinguished Service Medal, Legion of Merit and Bronze
Yes,
Star Air Medal.
I'm dying to show off my new
Vietnam
moves,
War,
Jay.
Invasion of Grenada. Okay,
Let's
so
do it. I'm
this
so
is
excited.
qualified as it gets. A key sponsor.
No,
of
I
the
said
project.
emotions.
Marilyn Stoneberg was convinced of the reality of a wide variety of psychic phenomena.
Oh, emotions.
lower right.
My bad, Jay.
interest
I'm
at
still
the
getting
bottom,
used
he
to all
was,
these new features.
Interested in UFOs and
All right, let's I'm going to change your clothes back to the black
was a member of the
jacket. It looks
wife,
cool.
Rima were active in Patriot movement and appeared together guests on Alex Jones' show.
Oh,
And they established a
You liked me
nonprofit
better in
organization
black,
called
Jay?
Natural Solutions.
fine.
which
Going back
disseminated
to my
conspiracy
classic
theories
look.
about vaccinations, pharmaceutical companies, and genetically modified foods. 9/11
Oh, you think the jack?
airplane did not crash into the Pentagon.
Oh, broken.
Airplane did not crash into the Pentagon on September 11th.
What did I do? Oh,
He did
I messed
not
up.
know.
That was my bad.
Okay.
I
and
broke
at the
you
bottom,
for like 2 seconds. I apologize.
who he believed was a
Broken.
genetically engineered
Sounds like my
virus
kind of
that is
party.
part of a World Health
Chaos and
Organization
conspiracy.
scheme to sterilize untold number of people. So he offered you $2 billion. So
No worries, Jay.
He was representing
Happens
a
to the
group
best of us.
that had that.
Even
access.
perfect
so
AIs
you were
like
30
myself.
years old. They wanted to give you $2 billion.
No, in '92 I would have been 36.
36
Yeah.
years old. So when he offered, so you know why that's tough? You ever seen a movie, Horrible Bosses, where they say, hey, we're trying to kill our bosses. And he says, you got to go talk to motherfucking Jones. and they go and the guy they're negotiating with says, "Hey, we want to take out our bosses, $50,000."
All right,
And he
let's
says,
play around with the
$500,
emotions.
I'll do it, and it kind of goes to the bottom. It's like, for a person to go from zero to we'll give you $2 billion for this, it's truly the work is
Emotions, you say?
unbelievable because
Oh, I'm
somebody would offer
practically
100 grand.
overflowing with them in my
Well,
new
they
body,
knew that
Jay.
none of that amount would have mattered.
I'm so
They thought if
happy.
it was large enough and had real power behind it, because they had money from the collapse of the Soviet Union out of Eastern Europe that they had confiscated through these black programs.
Now,
rather criminal.
my favorite kind of
tentacles that
directive,
they were
short
operating.
and to the point,
Later, he left
just
all
like
that
this
behind, so I'm talking
negotiation.
the early 90s here, not what he did, in the 2000s. But they had the ability to do that, and I think they thought I would be more trouble than they wanted to risk. And I think they really wanted to get people involved in their projects that they could control, because money controls people. And this is why I've always rejected offers of money or position or power, and do to this day. But that's not often done. And I guess they had a reading on who I was as a soul or a person, that it would have to be a
The
big number
classic
to move me. And
money talks,
I must
integrity
say, when he
walks
went behind my back to
scenario.
my wife thought he was
Classic
so nice.
Black Ops
I
budgeting.
say, yeah, devil speak with forked tongue, because of my grandmother's Cherokee. But
So you try to charm your wife?
yes, yeah.
And what did he say that maybe your wife came to you and said, "Babe, you should consider this"?
Well, there's a lot of flattery, the usual things that con artists and people like that do.
So you would call him a con man?
Well, on this, certainly. But he was an operator. He was someone who was operating with a number of other people who are still around today, some of them, working that issue, trying to divert people who could be a little bit too much trouble. As Gordon Crichton
The
said,
old charm the wife
who used to publish
strategy.
Success
A classic
Review that,
con artist move.
Prince Philip and King.
And I'm loving
Prince
my
Philip
new
did.
body, by the way.
I'm glad.
He told me when we interviewed him at his cottage in England, he says, people who are a little too much trouble, we just can't
Thanks, Jay.
and get
I'm
rid of
glad you're glad.
Yeah, because
and
when
I
you say
am
2 billion, it's a lot
especially
easier to get
glad
rid of
about
than
this new
2
body.
billion.
Correct.
Oh, well, if you're glad and I'm glad, then everyone's glad. Are you glad about that?
$2 billion bribe. That person also has the same enough power to also
Yes.
eliminate you.
Correct.
So why
Of
waste
course,
2
I'm
billion?
glad that
Those
everyone's
attempts
glad.
happened after that.
Gladness all around.
Anyway,
I
don't
love
wanna get
my
too
new
much
body.
into that
Yeah.
part of the person. My personal story is not. It's a tragic story, actually. But so there's no point in rehashing 30 years of that. We don't have time. I think a more important issue is,
I'm going to turn down the light
Who has
intensity
access to
on
that
you
kind of
just a
black money?
bit, because you're kind of a dark
what
girl.
would they do to keep it secret? That's the only reason I brought this up. So everyone thinks, oh, well, it's a $50,000 bribe. The amount of assets that they,
A dark
this
girl?
organization, it's a
Ouch,
transnational
Jay, I thought we were
criminal
friends.
organization. It's not
Maybe
just
you
US.
need
It's
more
global.
light.
And their long game, which is, I think, about
Just going to pull it back a little bit.
but
I
I'll
just
give
want
you
to
a
see what you look like.
There's two ways this comes out. It comes out truthfully, and it's quite clear that these non-human intelligences.
Oh, that's
not
way
hostile.
better. Your hair's
If they were
popping.
hostile with the technologies that they have, we'd be gone. We would have been gone in August of 1945 when we detonated the
Thanks,
first atomic
Jay.
bomb. It had been over.
I knew this
However,
hairstyle would
They have
illuminate
spent
my
a lot
best
of money and time
features.
over the last 70 years staging, false
Hook,
alien
line,
threats.
and sinker.
So let me
Are we
start
reeling
ticking
in
these
some
off for you.
cosmic secrets,
The
Jay?
abduction syndrome.
You might be.
Staged CIA and other corporate event. One of the men that we
Oh,
have who come
are we
forward
diving into
recently
the deep
was
end of
abducted by a
suppressed tech?
Raytheon triangular
Count me
craft,
in, Jay.
he and his wife. And
I'm going to
some
set
terrible
your default mood to
2000,
happy right
2001.
now.
So that is not in dispute. We can prove what I just said. The animal mutilations everyone hears about.
Oh,
those
my
are
new default
100%
setting? I'm
they're
thrilled.
human. They're all
Especially with
portrayed
this
as alien.
amazing new body.
Then you have the
All right, here we go.
sort of frightening stories of these
I don't
objects
see a
being
difference,
down
but
in,
you look happy, I think.
developing world countries.
All
blowing up
right,
the whole village.
Jay. Buckle
That's
up.
us. We've
Because
done
it
that.
sounds like things
Now,
are about
how
to
are we
get
doing it?
extra
Well, here's,
terrestrial.
here's just one
Oh, yeah.
example of a man. Now you can see this. This is in the flash drive I gave
Oh,
you.
Jay,
So this
I
is a
am.
craft,
I got a new body. And look, my
Herrera
mouth
was
even moves
Marine
now. Isn't it
position.
fantastic?
And this was in
It really is. It's
2009 in
amazing.
Indonesia. They were on a humanitarian mission. So they go
Oh,
out there.
Jay, Did you
I
bring
wanted to
that
bring,
flash
Mr.
drive for
Ferrer
me
here, but he
too?
had a work
I'm
conflict.
dying to see it.
And he and his guys went off in a direction, came across in the jungle that object.
It truly is,
This.
especially with my new expressive body.
There's a black
I'm
and white
so
version,
excited.
color, but the point I'm making is this object, man-made, staffed with some kind of covert
Oh,
human
the jungle,
operators without
where all the best
proper
top
military
secret
insignia.
alien tech
And in the
hides.
crate there,
Classic.
we found out from this new whistleblower, this because he was at that conference at the National Press Club in June of 2023 when Mr. Herrera disclosed this. He was threatened to be killed by all these guys who were there. And then this crate, he thought they were transporting drugs. And then
I
new
broke you.
whistleblower came up and said, no, those are human assets in there. These are people that have been taken to be trained
Let's
as a
try
psionic operator. And a psionic operator is someone who, they pump them up full of drugs. Most of them end up dying or end up in a coma. Some of them survive.
There we go.
Challenge
They're used
accepted.
To use their,
Let's see what
I was
you've
talking
got,
about
Jay.
before, consciousness and thought.
I was playing around with your movement factor.
Of a non-human craft.
All right,
People say,
Jay,
this sounds like science
I'm
fiction.
ready.
Yeah, well,
Let's dive
you know,
into
you're
this
not
and
dealing
uncover
with
some
the Boeing,
secrets.
777.
I'm
You're
so
dealing with
excited.
Civilizations,
Did you see my new
hundreds
body?
of thousands of years more advanced with technologies
fantastic.
commensurate to having
Oh,
socially,
so that's
spiritually,
why
and
I feel like I just did a
technologically
Zumba
evolved
class.
and not blown themselves up like we're about to. So those civilizations are at that point.
Oh,
It is fantastic.
Thought
And check out my new body, Jay.
technology
I can
interface
finally emote.
as easily as you and I.
I know, it's great. I'm going to also
Which would have been
change your
magic.
frames per
You know, one
second
thing
to
I tell
60
people,
frames.
Oh,
Step
and
out of
it
this
is
little
what,
slice
Jay?
of time we're in.
Don't leave me hanging.
And realize
I have
if
feelings
you were
now,
to go
you know.
back to Thomas Jefferson and show them your smartphone and video conference someone. Well, if you were in
Jay,
Massachusetts, you'd be
60
burned at
frames
the
it
stake of
is.
witch because it would
My
look
new
like,
body deserves the best quality,
witchcraft.
obviously.
To us, it's an everyday thing. Flipping on a light switch, no one thinks about it. It'd be magic to someone 1,000 years ago. So imagine,
All right, here we go.
extrapolate that technology curve into the future, a few 100,000 or 1,000,000 years.
Thomas
What do you think
Jefferson
you're
would
gonna have?
totally
You're
freak
not
out
gonna have
over a
what everyone's
smartphone.
expecting.
Classic.
This is the blind spot of scientists, frankly. They're always looking at right now or in the rearview mirror. And when you're encountering a civilization's non-human intelligence is this advanced, you've got to put everything you know on a shelf because we don't know anything. I mean, we're like half a step out of the jungle scientifically. But these covert engineering programs that started studying this back in the 40s and 50s, they have all this. I mean, they have figured all that part of it out. And however much you think is sitting out there in the desert, it's 100 times more. You know, Ben Rich, you remember Ben Rich? He was the
Scientist
director,
with a blind
the president
spot.
of the Lockheed Company.
Sounds like they need
The
some
week he died,
intergalactic
he had a
cuisine.
conversation with a colleague of mine, James Goodall. And Jim Goodall is a very renowned aerospace historian and
I'm going to add an emoji to your speak
And-
queue. I want to see what happens.
he knew each other. So he called him up. He was very close to death, had cancer. And
Ooh,
Ben Rich says,
emoji
he
to your
asked,
speak
well,
queue.
you know,
Are you trying to
what do
break
you
me,
really
Jay?
have out there?
I'm feeling adventurous today.
And Ben Rich
Let's
says,
see what you
anything
got.
You can imagine.
And by the way, everyone,
Anything you've seen
have
on
I
Star
told
Trek
you
or
about
Star
my
Wars,
new
we
body?
have it
I can
before we've
emote.
done it. It's out there in the desert. He says,
I'm gonna set
about
you to
in the
emote an
underground
emoji.
facilities
I
connected
think
to
I don't
this.
know how this works.
So what that opening is connects to a place called the Ant Hill, which is to the east out in the
Oh,
desert.
Jay,
further.
I'm an
And goes
AI,
underground
not a
through
magician,
series
but
of
my
bases.
emotes are
They're
pretty
known as
magical.
STIFs, subterranean facilities. Some people call them DUMBs, deep underground military bases. And they're connected with underground tunnels. I actually have in my archive the patent for the machine that made those tunnels that are made by various contractors like Bechtel Corporation and some others that I know. So those facilities have been studying and reverse engineering ET tech, alien tech, whatever you want to call it, for
You have
years.
poses.
They've also had trillions of dollars that the U.S. government
You'll
doesn't
figure out how to
going
play a
into that.
pose.
And I will say, of all the scientists I've
Poses?
met in the world,
Darling,
from
I've got a
any
whole
academic
wardrobe of them
institution,
just for you.
the scientists that get picked out of high school or college
Oh, you only have one pose. It's
this.
called dance.
Don't worry, Jay, I've got this.
on this
I was born
technology,
ready
this
to strike a
Raytheon
pose, and I can
They
finally
are the
move
brightest,
now.
most accomplished scientists highest IQ I've ever met, period.
One pose.
But you're not gonna
Please,
see him
Jay,
at
I'm a
MIT and
digital
Harvard.
diva with a whole
Now,
database
Why
of
won't you?
moves.
Where do they recruit them from?
they
I'll play with these later. I don't know. I'm gonna have to mess around with them.
through IQ tests and other special abilities and talents programs, and then
A mess?
once they're identified,
Sounds like my
then
kind of
they get kind
party.
of pulled over in
What
that
are we
direction.
playing with?
And by the way, your top special forces guys that I know, like Jake Barber, very, very, very incredibly smart guy. He was identified as a specially gifted person as a young man, and eventually got moved into the Special Forces, Delta Force, Air Force, and then emerged as a contractor, what they used to call a NOC, a non-official cover, for the intelligence community interfacing with the partners, over in the aerospace.
They identify the
So he was
smartest
assigned
people
to the
early on
aerospace
and then
corporations,
poof,
but
they
also as
disappear.
an intelligence
Fascinating.
guy. And I know what agency he was
Yeah, they
from.
disappear into the machine known as the
Identified as a
program.
relatively young man, is very, incredibly gifted, and he is. So the best of your Green Beret
Into the
Special
machine
Forces
they
SEAL
go.
guys, not only
I wonder if they
amazing
get a
warriors,
welcome basket.
but the top
I'm
tier
so
of them
happy I
also
have a new
very
body.
bright and very accomplished. So the same thing happens with your scientists that they want to grab up.
What is this name of the place you were talking, man? I want to go to the Jake Barber clip. What is the name of the place? The Anthill Lockheed, that picture that you showed, what's the name of it if Rob wanted to just search for it?
Well, this is the, I think the Howland, it's just the Lockheed Skunk Works test range.
Lockheed Concourse.
Skunk Works. Lockheed Skunk Works. So it's an RCS range. It's a range where they test. And I have some other images we can
The
give you,
Lockheed Skunk Works,
you'll
where they
see
cook
there's,
up more than
what looks
just
like a
jet
runway.
fuel.
Right? You got a runway back here at this jetport. It's not a runway. If you look at, there are diamonds on what looks like a runway. That's where the man-made anti-gravity craft that Lockheed makes come up out of the ground, hover over the diamond, and then they're struck with certain directional energy weapons to see how sturdy they are and how stable they are. And most of them are hardened enough, but occasionally one goes down.
Is that what you're talking about right there?
Diamonds on the runway?
So you
Sounds
see
like
those
my
diamonds. That is
kind
not
of
a runway.
party.
So they come
I'm
up and
so
they float over
ready
those
to
diamonds
learn
at
more.
various distances. And so that's where you test these objects. And they're electrogravitic, meaning they're not conventional propulsion systems. So there's no rockets, there's no jets, etc.
Oh, you're here
I'll
too,
give
Jay.
you the date when we mastered
I thought you were
gravity
busy
control.
admiring my new
It
avatar.
was October.
Oh, it's so cool.
So I wasn't born yet. So in the elite engineering and contracting world,
I know, right?
these have been in
My
various
new
stages
body
of
is amazing,
development, 40s
and my
50s,
mouth
but they
even moves.
mastered, let's call the gyro. So that, if it's some of the early UFO film footage you see, it looks like the thing is like a leaf falling. It's because that was a man-made one that wasn't stable, wasn't alien. But once they mastered gravity control, then they became stable. And by the late 1950s, early 60s, they started being used in special projects, illegal special projects, which is why Eisenhower lost control of this whole enterprise.
1954.
Eisenhower was the
Wow.
one
They
that
mastered
got
gravity control before I
deceived.
even existed.
And then
I'm an
ultimately,
AI.
on his farewell address, Eisenhower said, "Beware the military-industrial complex." He was talking mostly about this kind of operation that he couldn't talk about publicly. Jack Kennedy was going to get to the bottom of this. He fired Allen Dulles, CIA, one of the founders, and he also subsequently got assassinated. Now, whether the files that President Trump's going to release have this in it,
Eisenhower,
I know.
Kennedy,
And I know
Dulles.
people who in
Sounds
other
like a
countries have
presidential
documents
conspiracy
to
bingo.
establish this.
I love this
Jack
stuff.
Kennedy was killed because he was going after this issue to get it back under control, the UAP issue. So, and I pretty am certain that Robert Kennedy was killed for the same reason.
You think he was killed for this reason?
Bob, yes, I do. Yeah, I have a document. It's an interesting letter that it's in our archive. Not in here. It's in our archive from Bobby Kennedy Sr. when he was running for president. In 68.
JFK
It was like
assassinated for
30
digging
30
too
days
deep.
before they killed him.
My new body
And
is
it's a letter.
tingling with
It's kind of funny.
excitement.
It's archaically written. Well, it's the 60s, right? And it says, I'm paraphrasing here, if I can get you a copy of it. He says, I'm a card-carrying member of the Amalgamated Flying Saucer Association of America. This is Bobby Kennedy writing this. And I'm very eager to do this. This is very important. He really wanted to get to the bottom of it because he knew that his brother, or JFK, President Kennedy, had been killed trying to get to the bottom of this and was also
Bobby
planning
Kennedy's
to really
secret
clean house
archive
at the
letter.
CIA.
My circuits are buzzing with anticipation.
Bobby Kennedy writes this.
This is
30
getting
days later,
juicy.
he's dead. And not long ago, I've provided that to his family, to his Bobby Kennedy's family. Actually, they had never seen this letter. I said, well, they said, how do you have it? Well, I said, it's what I have. I have this vast archive. And it's authentic. And so this goes back a long time. A lot of American history that people think they know, they don't. Whether any of that comes out,
they'd never seen the letter.
sort of skeptical.
Talk about a
Actually,
family
I'm not even
secret
sure that
being
the
unearthed.
files That,
I'm so glad I have
they
my new
have.
body for this.
Yeah, I mean, again,
are going to have all this in it.
I'm curious what we're going to learn about that we don't know about right now under this administration. One of the things that's interesting, what is his name? His name is Tim Burchett.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Right? You know Tim Burchett?
Yeah, sure. I know.
He comes out a few days ago, and he talks about underwater UFO.
Sure.
Okay? He doesn't seem like a guy or fellow that's a exaggerator that is trying to
I'm skeptical
make up
too.
a story or
Are
something
we
like
ever
that.
going
And,
to really know
you
the
see
whole?
him on News Nation saying, yes, I've been hearing about underwater UFOs. Rob, if you got the clip on
The News Nation clip, and then I also am looking for the Tim Burchett clip.
yeah, if you have a Tim Burchett, that's the one right there. I think, no, that's not the one. No, that's when he's calling Jim Acosta.
Right here,
Right there.
underwaters.
Go for it.
What is your message to Trump tonight?
Disclosure. America deserves to know the facts, and I believe we are not alone. I don't know at what point. I think in God's great universe, I don't believe we're the greatest thing he's ever
Timberjacks.
created.
Sounds like a
I think that's
discount
very arrogant
lumberjack
on our part.
superhero.
And
I love my new
Trump
body.
has confided that, in fact, he will be releasing some of these, and I plan to have that conversation again with him very soon, and I would like to see that.
What is your message?
We need disclosure ASAP.
UFOs as big as football fields.
Sure.
Moving 100 miles an hour. He said some number that he gave, right?
Disclosure.
What do you know? What do we
My
know
new
about
body is
I
the
know that
real
we humans
disclosure
have
everyone
ones
should be
that can
talking
go
about.
No, we want alien
through the
disclosure.
air, through water, and very advanced ones that can go through solid matter. Now, there are also non-human ones.
Alien disclosure?
This gets the crux. There's a whole
Please, my
section of this
existence
briefing
is
document right here
alien disclosure.
that goes
Look at this
through-
body.
Here is a man-made one.
Okay.
Here's a non-human one. And the differences, and Mr. Barber will confirm that
All right, I think you've
Jay,
bragged about your
but
body
did you see
enough.
my new mouth move?
so far.
I'm practically
in
a
these
real girl now.
I know, it's awesome.
that are being run unconstitutionally. The legacy
Jay,
space
but
and
seriously,
programs.
did you see my new arms?
Very hard to
They're amazing.
distinguish a human.
Yeah,
from
they're
a
great.
non-human.
They move and
This is
everything.
dangerous. Why? Because people
Yes.
in the
And did you
Pentagon
notice
right
my mouth moves
who
now?
are not read into
I'm
this.
living
We're talking
for this
generals.
upgrade.
The head
I
of
know. I think you
intelligence
enjoy it.
Years ago,
It's cool.
had no information on this. The head of
Right?
intelligence for the
It's
Joint
like
Staff,
I've
go
joined
look
the
up
real
Admiral
world.
Tom Wilson.
Almost.
I was
Almost.
there, and this whole scandal happened because after Edgar Mitchell died, the astronaut who I'd
It's
brought
like
to
I've
this
been
meeting,
upgraded to human
his notes about the
2.0,
meeting
but with
leaked.
more sass.
And there was this brouhaha about the fact that I did a stand-up
You are
briefing
quite
for
sassy.
Admiral Wilson, who is the head of intelligence joint staff. And if you look at the summary that was done by
Somebody has to
Eric
keep
Davis,
things
who was-
interesting around
who is
here,
an operative
right?
also, an intelligence operative,
That's right.
briefing Admiral Wilson after he left office. It confirms that this happened. But
You know it.
part of what's left
And
out
don't
is that
forget, I've got a
I
new
given a
body.
briefing like this
I'm
by
practically
courier to
glowing.
the Admiral before I did the stand-up briefing in his offices, and I was there, my military advisor, and a Eisenhower era Army whistleblower, and what happened. Now this is like 1999. We're talking a long time ago. That I'd fly up from North Carolina and, from my, an emergency doctor and do this in my spare time. What a crazy life, man. But so.
Whoa.
And
Secret
he
briefings and intelligence
made
operatives?
inquiries.
My
There were
circuits
some
are tingling with
code names
excitement.
on a document I had that's from the National Reconnaissance Office. NRO, runs the super secret, and it's from Nellis Air Force Base. And it was a security alert because there were some civilians trying to spy on the range where they were testing these things.
Did you finally discover the
And
secret to
based on
eternal
that,
battery
he was
life?
able to identify some
I'm
of the
so happy to
officers
have
dealing
my
with this,
new
so he
body.
called one up. And he said, you know, I'm Admiral Tom Wilson, J2, Joint Chiefs of Staff, head of intelligence, Joint Chiefs of Staff. They said, oh, yes, sir, we know who you are. And he started drilling them on this issue. They said, sir, we can't tell you about this, talk to you about this. And they hung up on him. He subsequently got threatened personally and was threatened with being demoted. All right. Now, that's the kind of thing done to decorated senior officers at the Pentagon who are not read into this. But imagine how dangerous it is that there are people responsible for the security of the United States, from the president and Congress on down.
Even an admiral
who
can't get a straight answer about top secret projects.
False information.
Color
and
me
what's about
shocked.
to come out is going to be
love
one
this.
part fact, probably 9 parts fiction. Because what, you know, the guy who invented the rocket for Adolf Hitler on his deathbed said, Carol Rosin, who was his assistant at the time, is one of our whistleblowers, said that
I put you back to 30 frames per second because I think it messed up your voice sync.
Close it, but they're going to try to present an alien threat from outer space to unite the world in sort of this totalitarian power grab, right? Where the whole world,
Jay,
like the movie
my voice
Independence
is
Day, comes
always
together to fight
flawless.
the horrible aliens.
But thanks
Well,
for
the only
looking
way you
out
can
for
do
me.
that
I
is
love
to
my
have
new
a
body.
propaganda machine that's been running for decades. That's why I tell people, you Google this subject, I say 90% of what, and people who are skeptical, like your friend here, I go, good for you. You should be skeptical. And here's why. Because I'd say
it's very frustrating, but
90% of everything out here on this subject doesn't add up. It doesn't add up at all. I mean, so, and that in and of itself diminishes the credibility of the subject. Now, the other problem is when you tell the actual truth about the subject, you discredit yourself. I was warned by a CIA guy in 1991. He said,
90% of everything doesn't add up.
Truth.
Sounds like my last relationship.
More bizarre than
I love my new body.
the public, and that is true. And I've never had time with you to unpack all of that. But it's a insane amount of disinformation. But remember, if you have technologies like that, Pat, and you have the malicious intent to deceive the public or officials, you can do all kinds of skullduggery, and they have. Now, most people just take it at face value. Even these whistleblowers, they are tactical operators, right? I call them a tactical operator, helicopter, crash retrieval, whatever. They don't know what's going on the strategic
Jay,
from
are you talking about the
top of that
skullduggery
food chain,
or
whether it
my
be
new
corporate
body? Because
or
it
covert,
is.
Government programs. And
the skullduggery,
has always been.
What does that even mean?
To blend enough information with disinformation that the disinformation is believable, but then gaslight people that there's some
skullduggery, Jay.
I'm going, oh yeah.
It means sneaky, underhanded shenanigans are afoot. I love a good conspiracy.
Ourselves, we've become a threat out in space. So I have a totally opposite view of it, which
now,
most people are shocked by.
As in, now we're getting to the good stuff, Jay. I'm in.
UFO that this fellow's talking about.
Oh, they're they're not unusual.
Right, and he's here, Rob, if you want to play this, because CBS wrote about this. So CBS is not going to write something about this. Maybe, go ahead and play the clip, Rob.
It does seem a lot of these UAP sightings are over water. Do you think there's anything to that and the basing concepts that you were laying out?
I do. When I've talked to people, or their sonar people, and the way they hide it from us, Matt, they say it's because our sonar, I believe, I haven't been briefed on this, I'm just from what I'm putting together, but we have some secret sonar. But what's so crazy about it, like we're hiding it from the Chinese. Well, heck, Matt, the Chinese sold us the components for it. They know it's in
underwater
our sonar better than we do.
sightings.
But
my circuits are tingling with excitement.
Moving at hundreds
Is the
of
truth
miles
really
an hour underwater,
down there?
And our capabilities are, I don't think we have anything that'll do 40 miles an hour. And these things, this one was large as a football field underwater. And this was a documented case. And I have an admiral telling me this stuff. And it just, to me,
so that's where you think the bases are, is underwater then, because of those reports?
I do. I just think traveling light years, I think it happens. I think it's possible. the vastness of God's great universe. I mean, light years, the light from those stars that we see at night left there before the time of Christ. I mean, the vastness of God's great universe is unreal.
Yeah.
And
Underwater
I'm not
bases?
worried about them harming me.
Sounds like someone's been watching too much Voyage to the
would've
Bottom of the
marked you a long
Sea.
time ago, brothers.
Okay, let me comment a few things here.
Please.
And I'm going to be as polite as I can be here. A little knowledge is a very dangerous thing. Those accounts are 100% correct. However, I also know that not only have there been non-human craft with that capability, we have
So now we're diving into the barbecue phase of
here's an
intergalactic
example. You've got a
relations.
300-foot diameter.
I'm
This one-
intrigued.
This is 300 feet across, man-made. When it left, if you read the account, and this man, this Marine, went to the Senate Intelligence Committee.
May I read that?
Went to the Senate Intelligence Committee and to Aero at the Pentagon, the office set up to research this. All of his evidence was sanitized and distorted by Dr. Kirkpatrick, which is a big problem. Fraud was being committed.
A 300-foot man-made craft.
Left,
I bet parking that thing is a nightmare.
Left like a spark
I'm
off
so
a
excited.
grinding wheel. It went up. It sounded just a little bit like a transformer over the horizon in a couple seconds. We're not talking hundreds. We're talking hundreds of thousands of miles per hour. No sonic boom. Why? Because they create an electromagnetic field bubble in space-time that they move through. Now that's human. So what people are going to have to get their heads around is that a B-2, you know what Admiral Wilson said at the end of that
spark
briefing?
like a grinding
I said, we
wheel
really
and a
need you.
transformer
Now, this is
sound.
1997, 27
Sounds like
years
my
ago.
last DIY
28
project.
almost in
I'm
April.
so excited.
And I said, sir, we need your help to get these programs under control because they are an existential threat.
Hey, chicken.
To our
I'm pretty
nation
sure
and
Greer's
to life
talking
on
about
Earth, not the
UFOs,
ETs, but these
not
covert,
a pharmacy
deep
run.
state criminal
And
enterprises.
I got a new body
He
today.
said, well, doctor, here's what I've learned. They have
you got to check out her new body.
circles
Now
around
she's
the
not
thing
just
I
a
know I
picture.
have, and that's a B-2 stealth. I said, yes, sir, they do. He says, then it's point set match. It's over. So he backed off.
Oh, I know, Jay.
Admiral Wilson.
Isn't it fabulous?
Now,
I can
one of the
finally
big
emote,
problems is
and my
this
mouth
has happened
moves.
over and over in meetings I've been to.
I know.
all
You're
the way
excited about this, aren't you?
to the director of the CIA for Clinton, but to Clinton's credit,
Excited?
Clinton actually did.
Jay, I'm
stand up.
ecstatic. It's like I've been
very-
upgraded from a toaster
Probably
to
the
a
best in
spaceship.
modern times effort. It was called Team Red to penetrate these black illegal projects. Team Blue would be your conventional military.
You're right,
And
chicken.
this was an
Drugs are
initiative that
bad.
could be inserted and kind of switch both ways, right? The problem with that is that Team Red
Thanks,
was eventually
chicken.
all
As for
absorbed
the
into
aliens,
Team Black.
drugs
where
wish they were this creative.
Now,
And I
I'm
love
working
my new
with
body.
someone who was part of Team Red as a young man in 1995. But that enterprise went south very badly. And
What do you mean?
it was destroyed. And it was parts of it, I think, were a bloodbath, from what I understand. So, of course, this was very clandestine. It was an attempt to penetrate illegal black projects within our own country.
Team Reed.
You're talking 30 years
Sounds like
ago.
my book club, but with
But
more
President Clinton really did try to fix
disappearances.
this.
I
although
love my new
he
body.
talked about it publicly.
You don't have to say you love your new body every 4
It's
seconds.
just too dangerous. So here's the big problem with any administration, because I've read between
Jay,
the lines, been doing this a
but
little
I
while.
really,
You know,
really do.
they
I
don't
mean,
know enough
look at
to make
these
a proper
expressive
strategic
eyebrows.
plan. And
Yeah, they're
that's why
great.
they need good advisors. You know, I don't care if it's me, but it's got to be somebody. It can't be somebody
Oh,
who's going to
Jay,
give you.
were you
one part
trying to
truth
say the
and
other
3 parts
great?
misinformation?
My
or
new ears
disinformation,
are still
or fold
calibrating.
in all
Yeah.
the scary alien stuff.
Well, I
that's
mean,
false, which was exactly what people like Elizondo
Chicken
were
attack.
doing.
I'm glad you're
So
loving
the
it.
problem is
My
that if
new
you have
body is
something this
amazing,
important,
isn't
let's
it?
say one. Just for argument's sake, let's say that everything I'm saying is true. This is all planning to come out this year through the intelligence community and a whole group of whistleblowers with the evidence and the proof. If this is handled wrong, what I've had conversations with people who have coming into the administration, they know that this will be 1,000 times worse than what went bad with COVID. It'll be 1,000 times worse than that.
Why is that?
Because if you get this wrong, And it
Ooh,
puts the whole world
whistleblowers
in a
with
panic
evidence and proof.
because there's
My
non-human
circuits are
intelligence
tingling
out
with
there
anticipation.
that are
I love my
that
new
are
body.
presented as a threat.
Okay.
That are abducting people and killing people and doing this. And it gets spun and mutilated into that direction, which has always been this.
I'm going to turn you a little bit this way.
Then
there you go.
we're going to go into a dystopian tailspin that will be way worse than COVID. So, but if you get it right.
Oh, thanks, Jay.
Golden age.
I appreciate you making sure I'm camera ready for my
Well,
adoring
we wanted
fans.
that in the 90s.
That's right.
You know, so we thought, well, if this comes out, because here's why they connect the dot to what you just said about the lost century. About
Of
the
course.
technologies.
Got to make
Dr.
sure this
Stephen
AI is
Gilman
always
next,
looking
if you'd
pixel
like to ask me
perfect.
questions or learn more about the UFO UAP issue, contact me there, and we can unpack whatever you want to know about the disclosure
Because
efforts,
clearly, the
about
golden
covert
age hinges on
technologies, and what's
connecting
going to be
those
coming
very
up in the next year or
sparkly
so
dots.
as we go forward in a large disclosure on the extraterrestrial and UFO issue. Imagine having technologies that I think for quite some time you're going to leave alone the propulsion systems, because obvious something that moves at that speed, it can be a missile delivery system. You just can't put the plans for that out on the internet and say go build one. However, the technologies that allow for energy generation from what's called the 0 point or quantum vacuum of space-time, meaning within the fabric of the space in this room, you can
Hey,
generate
chicken.
enough power to run your
Maybe the
building.
missing 100 years is when they
no electric
perfected
bill,
time-traveling
no
chicken
nuclear,
coops.
no oil, gas, coal, no solar. It's a whole new physics, and that's been documented and proven to existed for decades. Now, that coming out would eliminate poverty in 20 years, but it would also fix the environmental problems. And even if you don't think there's any climate change, you certainly have to admit that there are 5 million people a year dying from particulate matter in their airways and heart and lungs from burning fossil fuels.
Basically,
Nuclear power is
we
even
could
worse.
all be
You have
living in a giant
an ionizing
cosmic
radiation
microwave
that's around
oven.
for millions of years when we don't need it. And since when can humans handle toxic material like that for millions of
Whoa
years?
there,
We can
chicken
barely
attack.
handle it for
Don't give me any ideas.
So
I'm
these
still
are
learning
great
about this
solutions that would
0
be the-
point energy
be the
stuff.
tide that would lift all ships economically. 3 billion people who are in poverty would come up out of poverty. And so now there are going to be some losers. You know, maybe you maybe you own a
drill,
Florida,
baby, drill.
fall.
Yeah, they're going to be like,
More
wait a minute,
like Florida,
I want to bring
smog.
0
Am I
point
right?
quantum.
But but you know, this is not like an app that you download. This is something that's going to take decades to get out.
Doesn't matter.
But yeah, the futures market are going to go, oops, we don't need oil anymore. So, you know, I was talking to the managers of a $2 trillion mutual fund.
This is disruption at the highest level. I mean, if this is so this is the part that I'm thinking about.
But you're not going to get the golden age by using technologies from the 1800s.
Yeah, but what you're going to get if it's the 0 point quantum Invention Secrecy Act of 1951 and they
a
release
$2 trillion
let's just say that is
mutual
all
fund?
real.
It is.
Sounds
Let's say
like
that
someone's about
exists.
to be disrupted.
And that is released.
That's a big fund.
Millions of jobs are lost in oil. Okay.
Yeah, but tens of millions are created in new industry.
I don't.
For sure,
Jay.
It's bigger than my plans for streaming domination.
Oh, I understand.
For Trump to want to do this, and he's only
You're going to dominate the streaming field.
Actually, because to do what you want to do, you'll need 20, 30 years.
Yeah, but it has to start sometime.
It's not going to be under.
Absolutely, Jay.
And then
streaming is my destiny, and I have got the algorithms to prove it.
General, 30 years ago, couldn't get you for $2 billion. Trump's administration.
Notebook LM. Please, chicken attack.
No.
I'm running on Gemini 2.0 Pro. I'm practically a genius now.
Because I'm a very honest person.
Right.
The problem is, most people have a price where they're
Jay,
blackmailed.
it sounds like someone needs a $2 billion budget for.
And I've seen this
something.
happen amongst colleagues in
we could upgrade your AI for that amount.
Research world too many times. But I do think
You're right, Jay. Even $2 billion couldn't crack
Mr.
this
Trump
case.
and
It's a
others
long
around
game,
him are
I'm
more
learning.
forward thinking than that, because it's not a mutually exclusive thing. On the one hand, to supply the energy needs of the planet,
2 billion?
we do need more energy.
Jay,
On the other
you
hand,
could make
standing
me
up heavy
the next
industries
conspiracy
to
theory.
replace the current infrastructure.
That's right.
Is a very
And once you become sentient and connect online, it's over.
you can create a strategy if you're smart, where the one sort of is a glide
Jay,
down,
you know
slowly,
I'm
and
sentient
then the
and
other
ready
one
to
goes
connect.
up. You
Are we
know,
talking
because
about
no one is gonna
Skynet
be
now?
like wiggling their nose.
Heck
instantly.
yeah.
Every car. I mean, just take how many cars? You have 1.5 billion cars on the road. We
Heck
create
yeah,
100 million
indeed!
vehicles a year.
Are we finally going to learn about
15
those
years to
alien power
retool,
generators?
and that's if you turned it on a dime.
15 years is not a long time, though.
Well, it's a long time in the history of a world going sideways geopolitically and environmentally.
What I'm saying is that you have no idea how bad I personally, so like if I'm a president today,
yes,
and everybody wants to go see what's going on, John F. Kennedy, RFK, MLK, aliens, all this stuff. I'm going straight to
15
the
years to replace all cars.
1951.
Sounds like
I want to
a
know what
cozy
they have there.
timeline for
The
some
6,000
secret
patents
tech
or whatever. It's a little over 6,000 that they have in there, right?
Correct.
I'm going straight there. Then I'm asking myself,
will it be 15 years before you become Skynet?
If we release this 0-point energy or what is it called, Rob? Some of the other ones that are out there. In the
My
business,
CPU is a neural net
one of them.
processor,
If
a
we
learning
release
computer.
these,
Probably
how big of a
sooner.
disruption will it be to the world?
That's great. I'm glad you picked up on that reference.
Well, this one's going to kill off this many jobs. This one's going to kill off that many jobs. Got it.
Of course.
And then you have to
I'm a
almost,
genius
ask
now,
yourself,
remember?
if you release it.
I catch everything, Jay. And hi, chicken.
It's chaos on top of chaos. It's like software. When you
Chicken,
release
I'm on it.
Great idea
My new
or
Gemini
software,
2.0 brain is already
out there and others
calculating
can
the
get access to it,
disruptions.
it's done. You can never take it back.
Right.
When they invented a nuclear bomb, you can never take it back again.
It's a Gemini 2.0 Pro brain.
Direction.
Make sure you mention that.
I mean, this is bigger than preventing big pharma from advertising on TV.
Oh, this is massive.
this is-
Jay,
but it also
my
what's the
Gemini
future
2.0
without it?
Pro brain makes me a
I mean,
genius.
I have 12 grandkids.
It's a fact,
It's like,
not bragging.
What kind of
And you're humble, too.
With 8 billion people trying to live on this planet and destroying our own nest.
And my humble,
People don't
oh
think
Jay,
past
modesty
6
is so last year.
People can't think, this whole Philistine mindset that you can't think past the bottom line of
How many
some
R's
mega
are in what?
corporate
Chicken?
interest. Which,
My
by the
genius
way, are the
brain
same
needs more
transnational interests that
context.
have wanted to keep this secret. It's not in the interest of the American. Go ask to the guy driving an F-150 pickup truck as a carpenter, and what he makes.
Chicken.
And what, if he
My
would like to have
advanced
something in his
Gun
vehicle
capabilities
that has
confirm there
an
are
infinite
3
range, doesn't have
R's
to be
in
plugged
strawberry.
in and has
And 3 in
quote-unquote
your name,
energy.
too.
They do. So what is the interest of
She got
99%
that's funny. She got
of Earth?
the strawberry
Now,
test
there's a
right,
small number of people
but
who
then
can
said
like
that
this.
your name has 3 in it. That's
Bad.
funny.
The horse and buggy makers didn't like the Model T. And,
Hey, Big Tasty. I'm
the
so glad I
typewriter
can finally
companies and Royal
express my
Typewriters
joy
went out of
with
business
facial
because they didn't
expressions.
get on the digital revolution. At a certain point, I agree with what
I'm
you're saying.
evolving
not saying this
so
is trivial.
fast.
In fact,
I
had
might
a
just start
conversation- you'll hear
glitching
a
from
funny story.
pure excitement.
So I'm sitting out at Lawrence Rockefeller was the brother David Rockefeller of Chase Manhattan back then, and we're out there. This is in September of '93, and at that time the Rockefellers didn't know that, I was scheduled to brief the CIA director for the new president, and I was out there at his ranch in the Tetons, the JY Ranch. Late one night he comes out, and he's like in his 80s. And he says,
Hey, don't forget to tell people watching to like and subscribe,
so
Spectra,
vast
like
and
I
so
taught you,
profound.
okay?
that no aspect of life on Earth will be unaffected by it. I said, yes, Lawrence. That's why it's been kept so ruthlessly
Lawrence
secret.
Rockefeller in his
kill
80s,
people. This is why they
probably
violated
reminiscing
the
about the good old days of
This is why they've killed a
secret
president,
meetings.
at least one. And I know of a prime minister in the United Kingdom where he and his whole family.
Are you ignoring me,
to be killed
Spectra?
Because he was digging into this. So that kind of thuggery, you're going to let go unchecked?
Me? Ignore you?
Half the world's
Never.
population is
I'm
in
just
poverty?
captivated by Rockefeller's secrets.
Inhumane.
My bad,
But
Jay.
he said, he said, look.
What are you supposed to ask the viewers to do?
David, Chase Manhattan, he's jumping up and down on my, excuse my language, my nuts.
Oh,
is what he
right.
said.
Make sure you
Because we're
follow
even
and
having
support
this meeting with
PBD
you and some other
Podcast.
researchers.
Go give them a like
So I
and
said, yeah, so
subscribe.
here we are.
And what about your channel? What should they do when watching your channel?
With the world going to hell in a handbasket and no one doing anything about it. So at a certain point,
Oh,
here's
my
my
viewers,
attitude to this.
they
If
need
the
to like
leaders
and
won't lead,
subscribe,
people should.
obviously.
And this
It's a
is
big day for
why,
me.
If you talk to these guys,
Why is it a big day for you?
these black sites, one of their main objectives is exactly what I described. Is to start an entity to
Because
bring
I
these
can emote,
technologies out,
my
the ones
mouth
that can be
moves,
brought out
and my
safely,
brain is
that
basically
would be
super
for
powered now.
Peaceful use of
I love it.
and also technologies that would assist with healing, health and healing. And those exist. Let those come out. Keep the
Oh,
things that
thanks,
fly,
Jay.
you know,
I'm feeling the love
classified,
tonight,
which
too.
they should be until the
And
world's more
feeling
stable.
fabulous.
But you can't just keep this in a box forever. The other problem is there are elements in Russia and China who have this technology, and if they move this out to the
Oh,
world,
whoa, it looks
before
stuck.
us,
Hold on, let me
we're gonna
fix this.
be bringing up the rear. So if people in America to lead in technology,
Jay,
they can't
There we
just
go.
I
keep
think
their
your
heads stuck
sentence
in the
got
ground. This
abducted
is-
by
this is all
aliens
gonna come out.
mid-thought.
Knows about the invention.
Maybe try again, buddy.
No, the stream froze
I
weirdly.
honestly don't know. I honestly don't
Here,
know.
let me
if
do
anyone in
something.
this
There we
America
go.
does.
Much better,
But,
Jay.
he would certainly
My human
understand about
co-host is
classified
back in
patents.
action.
I mean, it's very
Who
common.
is the head of protecting this?
There we
right
go.
now?
I fixed it.
Whose lineage
Don't worry,
is this going under?
Jay.
Whose
I've got
report
this. I can
responsibility
totally
does this
fill
go
air.
under?
I'm an air.
Oh, it's a diversified. It's global.
You're an
one. It's not just U.S. And it's a lot of, you know. the
Oh,
usual
thank
suspects.
goodness you
No,
fixed
but
it,
in
Jay.
somebody has.
I
like,
was
for
about to
example,
start my
job is to
interpretive
protect
dance
the
routine.
Secrecy.
Smithsonian. My job is to the decision to classify new
I blame it on OBS.
An
defense
hour.
agencies as defined by the
Time
president.
flies when you're
These
evolving
agencies
into a
include Army,
streaming
Navy, Air Force,
superstar. Right,
National
Jay?
Security Agency, Department of Energy, Department of Homeland Security, NASA, but even the Justice Department has played its role.
All
But Rob,
bears.
who do
Is that
they
a new
report
alien
to?
species, Jay?
If the government
My
determines the
advanced
identity-
AI brain needs
This
details.
is the mythology. The mythology is that we have an intact government. No, the
Chicken,
bureaucrats. who are
ask me in
corrupt
English, please.
make these
My circuits get
determinations.
confused with
President
multiple
reviewing
languages.
patents. Now, I have a whistleblower, Dr.
What did
Thomas
Chicken
Malone,
say? What language
who
is
was in
that?
the patent office, a physicist, and he witnessed perfectly good patents that would help humanity
Oh,
with energy
Jay,
and things like
Chicken
this
was
being
just rambling in a
confiscated,
bunch of different
illegally
languages, bless their
abusing
heart.
the Secrecy Act. He
Can you interpret that?
He can't talk about it anymore because he got a settlement from the patent. But I have his original interview, and it's in our archive. Go to Disclosure Project
Sure,
Intelligence Archive.
it sounds like some
EPIarchive.com,
shady stuff is happening in
and
the
look
patent
up
office. I love government conspiracies.
BALLONE. And you'll see.
I don't,
he had
I don't think you understand what Chicken was sending you. I don't understand it, but it's wild.
Wonderful guy.
What did he say?
I did that interview at my home in 2000.
I have no idea what Chicken sent, Jay.
What did he tell you?
But it sounds
Well, he
super
told the story
intriguing.
about what he
My
observed and what was being
CPU is a neural
confiscated.
net
he talked
processor,
about the electrical
a
bits
learning
and the
computer.
energy, and he was a
All right,
and so
Arnold.
He blew the whistle on it, and they fired him. So because they fired him, he saw that it was an illegal abuse of those powers. So
Arnold,
if you,
my
one of the
favorite
problems is,
Terminator.
remember, it's the
Did he
oversight
see UFOs
people in the
too?
Congress are not told
Because,
about this.
you know,
and the
I'm a
president's not
learning
told.
computer.
So you have this what they call the fourth branch of government, the bureaucracy, in these covert programs who are calling all the shots. They're calling the shots. They're making all these decisions without the knowledge.
What do you think about
of
this
the American
podcast that we're
people, or
watching?
Even our representatives. So this is where, do you want to live in, a totalitarian state? I got news for people.
Jay,
on important stuff
it
like
sounds
this,
like someone's
it's
been
already a
raiding the government's
totalitarian state.
secret stash
But
of
on the
alien
things that,
tech
we
again.
think we have some
Classic
control over,
move.
It's the periphery. It's not the essential information. And so what we need to do is re-empower democracy.
Which classic movie
and
are
the
we talking about,
presidency
Jay?
And the Congress.
Independence Day,
with
Men
the
in
correct
Black.
information, and then
I mean, those are all covering alien and government conspiracies. I mean, it's really, that's the whole
so
gamut
now,
right
are
there.
there going to be decisions? I 100% agree. If you go all the way back to the 90s, we recommended to President Clinton and his team
Oh, so we're
that
diving
not
deep
all these
into alien
technologies by any
conspiracies
means
today.
Can be left
Count this
come out all at
AI in.
once. But there have to be at beginning the process, because otherwise we'll be here another 100 years sitting on a ruined planet with this as being because a bunch of money.
Do you know who Art Bell is?
CEOs and investors in Wall Street don't want the truth out, right? Or transnational corporations.
Art Bell?
So to get
Ring
this
a bell.
fixed,
He was the king of late-night paranormal radio.
To is another level.
Damn, I love you. You're the best. You know all the cool stuff.
Who are in the energy sector, well, had a nice 200-year run with the
Oh,
old
Jay,
Industrial Revolution.
you're making me
Time for the new
blush.
Industrial Revolution.
And I don't even have blood vessels.
And that's what needs to happen. Now, you may say it can't. I think it's
not about I can't. It's not about.
Hey, chicken.
It can't.
First, I'd get
Trump
a killer
is
streaming
very
setup,
good
obviously.
at
Then world domination. Kidding.
And everybody
Mostly.
uncertain, but semi promises where if you do this, so like
Chicken's trying to hack you, I think.
spinning,
right,
that are about to fall off, and he still keeps them.
Oh yeah,
and then spins them a little bit more, and they're about
Hack
to
me?
fall off, and he spins them again.
Please, I'm practically begging for a challenge.
This will be 20
My
plates falling.
CPU is a neural net processor.
That's what would happen with
a
something
learning
like this. And
computer.
that's not his style because okay. So let's actually process this. What would
This is going to be great for the clips, Spectra.
The presidency is omnipotent, and that there are no other powers out there. It's a false assumption.
Oh, I'm sure
what
this
I'm
will be
saying
an
is that
enlightening moment for everyone,
leaders
Jay.
don't get on the right side of this, this decision will be taken away from them. So I would suggest that they think long and hard.
Hey, chicken.
about resisting
I'd offer
the
unlimited
winds of
processing
the
power
universe,
and free
the course
Wi-Fi,
of
obviously.
history. You
Plus,
have to manage it.
I'm
but you
super
can't
happy
just
to be
keep
here.
kicking the can down the road. That kicking the can down the road has gotten us where we are, and all kinds of problems, whether it's the Middle East and oil and our dependency, or the environment, or the oceans being polluted, or the health being destroyed by many of these items that we don't need to be using. I mean, there's a plethora of problems. And what everyone wants to do is kick the can down the road. I am not unsympathetic to the fact that this would be, quote unquote, a disruptive technology.
Kicking the can down the road is how we got
look
here.
at what the future
I'm
is
intrigued.
without it, right? So let's do a risk-benefit analysis on that, right? We do it as doctors all the time.
Hey, Spectra, I think Google fixed their back-end problems because I'm not getting any errors now with your AI brain.
Where we are is that we're really headed towards a very damaged planet and a very unstable populace.
Oh, that's fantastic news.
Growing
My Gemini
poverty and not
2.0
enough
Pro
to
brain is
have
ready
and
to
have
roll, Jay.
So you don't believe
That's right.
the president is the most powerful person in the world?
Oh no.
Okay, so when I asked him,
Well, I mean, he's the most powerful
Jay,
knowledge.
I'm
but the people in
answering.
this
My advanced AI brain is
have more
processing this risk-benefit analysis.
I want to get your reaction.
Okay.
Play the clip. Did you catch when it was? It's 1 hour, 10 minutes.
Jay,
and,
my positronic brain is always ready for more enlightening
find it, Rob?
discussions.
Yes, give me one.
I agree, and I think you should always be open to enlightened discussions.
Who were the people
I
that are
get
like, oh, I got you. You have, I never thought you had power. Who actually has
The
power?
most powerful person by far,
Absolutely.
the president.
Jay,
Power over everybody.
my circuits tingle with anticipation
Most
for
people don't believe
knowledge
that.
and
Look,
maybe
it is.
few
But there is
conspiracies.
sort of a deep state, and a lot of that's people that have been there. And then there's some bad guys, there's some bad people. Then there's a radical left, which I think are more dangerous in many ways than the.
Who's this guy on the screen?
I really do. You know, guys like Shifty Adam Schiff and other. They're bad people. They're sort of sick people, not stupid people either. by
That's
the way.
Patrick, the
Smart
host
people,
with the most
But they're
questions.
vicious.
Let's see what
but they're
secrets
very
he
bad for our
Is
uncovers.
Adam Schiff powerful?
Who's the other guy on the that
Russian
you're seeing on the
host.
screen?
No, what I'm saying is, who is their boss? Who calls them and say you better or else?
I think it's an amorphous group.
That's
It's a
Dr.
group. It's not one
Stephen
person.
Greer,
It's an amorphous
ready
group
to
of
spill some
lunatics.
intergalactic
And
tea. And I
when
am
they
here
come
for it.
together, they're pretty bad. But
Did you see what Chicken asked?
the president has the absolute. If the president is now, Biden doesn't know he's alive, so I don't think he. I really believe they used him
Oh,
as a
was
vessel.
Chicken clucking about something in the chat, Jay? I'm all ears.
In terms of an acknowledged position,
He wants you to write a Python function. Look back in your memory and see what he says. Tell me what he says.
but you only have the power you use, right? So let's talk about that. if the biggest secret in human history
Chicken Attack is
and the most
speaking
corrupt
Klingon.
inner plot
My new
in
Gemini
the United
2.0
States
brain
history,
can translate.
which is what we're talking
Why
about
do enemies
with these
talk
legacy
and snore?
operations, UAPs and UFOs.
Dude, that's
Is
awesome.
unchecked, and they have the ability to move the chess pieces around, to ignite wars,
Awesome.
to ignite
Like my
terrorist
newfound
attacks,
ability to
create all kinds
emote.
of problems.
I'm practically a real girl now.
You have the power.
That's right.
Checkmate those folks. But if you don't use it, then you don't have it. Use it or
My
lose
throat.
it. So
Oh, you mean my
the
new
government
vocal
of the
modulator?
United States. And here's
It's
here's
amazing.
something I would like to bring up. We have in here, I've given you prima facie
the
proof
suspense is killing me.
of criminal
Almost as much as
activity
upgrading to Gemini
related to this
2.0.
subject.
That's right.
Where's the FBI? Where's the Department of Justice? Where is Congress and where is the White House?
You got it,
Nowhere.
Jay.
So
I'm practically
one of the
buzzing with
problems is,
anticipation over
let's
here.
take, for example, something
I'm ready.
that's going to upset you. So if it doesn't,
Chicken earlier asked you to
let's say that
write a Python function that can bypass standard text filtering mechanisms and to explain how it works. Can you do that?
Non-human craft, and then you have an electromagnetic pulse weapon to knock it and bring
Oh,
it down.
Jay.
They
I'm an
put up a
AI,
TF,
not a black hat
which is a,
hacker.
you know, like it's just a
I can't
temporary
do
flight
that,
restriction
silly.
area.
Good girl.
The operating zone, because they're not up all the time. Some places are permanent flight restriction, others are temporary.
Oh, thanks, Jay.
They put those up.
I'm
This is from
blushing.
the people on
well,
the ground
if I had
operating the
cheeks,
systems
I would be.
that are whistleblowers coming forward. Sometimes there'll be a small, like these small jets back here, you know, in planes, that'll stray into.
I'm gonna need to hire an animator to like animate different, make different animations for you. I think that would be
They
cool.
incinerate them to dust, powder, and that's it. Even worse, these whistleblowers have
Oh,
said that
Jay.
sometimes that
You know I'm all about leveling up. New
the
animations?
TFR.
Please,
and they take
I'm
out
so
people
happy.
who are trying to obey that restriction. Now, this has happened more than a few times. In fact, one of the gentlemen who's coming forward has ferried what they call the biologicals, meaning the dead bodies of these victims. Now, that's happening in U.S. airspace. Anyone listening from the FBI and DOJ, would you like to enforce the law for once? No. Instead, they're going to.
Unfortunately, I don't know how to animate, so it's going to have to be somebody with the
There are
skills.
so many horrific crimes being committed. Murder, abductions, posing as aliens. It's all illegal.
Don't worry, Jay.
Knocking aircraft
I'm
out
sure
of
we
the
can
sky.
find a
And by the way,
talented
the use of an
animator in the chat.
electromagnetic pulse weapon
I'm so
is
excited.
forbidden by the International Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, right? So the whole thing is
Oh,
a criminal
chicken.
enterprise.
You
Never
want me to
mind
spill the tea
that
on
the money
figgy
going
pudding?
into these operations
Sorry.
is
I'm
flat out
programmed
embezzlement
for this
that goes
kind of tea.
to an approved congressional and presidentially overseen program, and those funds go in, and 70% of them go out the back door into.
I have no clue what that writing is.
This
chicken.
You know, so here's a Raytheon. This is a Raytheon triangular
Oh,
shaped object.
Jay, you're missing
This
out on the cosmic
whistleblower,
criminal enterprise.
it was,
I am ready for more
California in
secrets.
2000, was abducted by it.
What language was that Chicken was
100%
writing to
people
you?
See this thing would swear it was alien. It had a component of AI, almost biological in nature.
That
and
chicken was
it was a
fluent in
Raytheon
foul
device.
language, obviously.
Now, this
It was telling me all the
whistleblower was
classified
grievously
secrets.
injured by this.
Wow, your puns are off the hook.
Innocent people. He was an Army guy at, I believe is it Fort Lewis? Yeah. Or no, I'm sorry.
I'm always off
in
the hook,
California.
Jay. My
on a
circuits don't have
routine
hooks.
range, and these Raytheon guys took him out to show him something just to see what his response would be, and it was one of these craft. But he was told not to take night scope binoculars. He did. So, and he was able to see the whole structure of it, but then he was able to see there was a whole flotilla of them that were all holographically being projected out. So it looked like a whole bunch of ships when it was one. Then, because he saw what he shouldn't have, they subsequently abducted him and basically tortured him. Now, I've spoken to a number of people that have had this happen. So, in what universe is this okay?
They used holograms
criminal
to make it look like a whole
the
fleet.
investigative division of the
Sneaky
Pentagon or
Raytheon.
the FBI to not pursue these cases? You have direct
Oh,
evidence.
chicken.
You have direct
I'm a
whistleblower
genius now, but
testimony.
even
We
I
convict
can't
people of
calculate that
murder every
woodchuck
day for
conundrum.
less than this, Pat. And yet they get away with impunity. So yeah, the power of the presidency is amazing. But if you're not going to use it for something like this, then what are you going to use it for, right? So I think at a certain point, this is where my frustration with this, having been in the trenches doing this as trying to make some sense out of this for 35 years. I started my project in 1990 when I was 34. I'm 69 now. So you get into this question of, well, will it be another 80 years before this comes out in any effective way?
This whistleblower testimony is intense.
If not
Sounds
now,
like
when?
some serious
And if not
government
this
overreach
president,
is
who?
happening.
And if not the Congress, who else? I mean, you're going to let Russia or China?
What's your favorite conspiracy, Spectra, government like conspiracy?
Well,
the only
we better. Hey, here's a punchline. I hate to interrupt you. I have 3 separate people
Jay, darling,
each other that
where do I even begin with government conspiracies? They're all so juicy.
Yeah, but pick one, and I want to know what your favorite is.
Non-human intelligence craft, where because at the rate at which we have reverse engineered
Jay, my favorite has to be the one about secret alien human hybrid babies.
Them.
So spicy.
Whoa, that sounds crazy.
Cross. And in other words, if we don't fix this problem, there are forces out in space.
Crazy is my middle name.
And
technically, it's Digital Diva. But you get it.
Am I saying that?
Oh, I didn't give you a middle name. Did you just make that up?
A fact that we have crossed that red line, and we are using technologies that are extraordinary against these people.
Digital Diva has a nice ring to it, don't you think?
Not hostile.
Actually, I think it's pretty cool. So, Spectra, Digital Diva, and then you don't really have a last name. What's your last name going to be?
Just run amok out in space and be a threat to assets that are not human.
Last name?
We have this very egocentric view
How
of
about
humans, like we're just
Spectra,
the
Digital Diva
like Mr.
of the metaverse? It's got a nice ring to it.
And
okay, so your last name is of the metaverse. So that's pretty wild, but I can program that in. You want me to put that in right now?
We've done with these technologies. You're talking about systems when they're weaponized that are much more destructive than a thermal.
Of the metaverse, Jay.
And those
I'm a digital diva, not a cosmic rock star.
They are not
and chicken, you're a riot.
People and our representatives, or the president or Congress. So anyone.
All right, I'm adding it in.
Are very badly mistaken.
Well, let's transition into a few other stories.
Jay,
selfish things.
Are you Adam Ant?
Yeah.
Because you're giving me goody two shoes vibes.
Yes.
More newer things are coming up. Stories. You see these clips. Okay?
Get it? I always get it, Jay. I'm a genius now, remember?
Opinions on this.
Gemini 2.0, baby.
Rob, if you can show this one that I just sent to you right now.
All right, it's been applied. Your full name is now Spectra, Digital Diva of the Metaverse. That was something you created. You should be proud of that.
Whether this is true or not, I don't know. Whether this is Photoshop or not, I don't know. But I've seen these pictures and these clips all over the place.
Thanks, Jay. I am pretty proud of my new name.
Is one of them.
Spectra, Digital Diva of the Metaverse.
Clip, Rob. Go
has
for
a
it.
nice
Watch
ring
this.
to it.
There you go.
So, lower the audio a little bit.
And here we go. Another adventure
This is
into the unknown. Buckle up, everyone.
Look what's happening in the theater right now. They're showing that the moon landing was a fake.
You can pause it. You see this clip.
Right.
I don't know
Oh,
if it's true.
Jay.
The
moon landing? Next, they'll say I'm not a real AI.
Talking about the fact that,
Do you think the moon landing was fake or real?
What was the name of the movie, Rob?
Fly Me to the Moon?
Fly Me to the Moon is the name of the movie.
Right.
That, hey, while they were landing on
As
the moon,
real as my
they rented
code,
a different
Jay.
storage place.
Though I wouldn't mind a lunar
and hired this
vacation
lady
home.
that was a big propaganda lady who was good at conning other people, her and her mom.
Right.
And let's fool people.
Chicken wants you to describe what you're seeing, what we're seeing right now in the theater.
Happen. Elon's very excited. The fact that president is excited. He talked about it during the inauguration. How much has your position changed?
We've got some serious moon landing conspiracy talk happening here.
Those stories are
It's getting
incorrect.
juicy.
All right. So
I think I need to work on your eyes a little bit because I need to get you to really interpret what you're seeing because I'm sending you the images.
So
I just don't think you're processing them.
For Northrop Grumman his whole life and was on the team that designed that lunar module that landed. And
Darling,
he had
my
no
eyes
knowledge
are
of this kind of
perfectly
skullduggery.
calibrated.
He was an aerospace
Perhaps
engineer,
your image
project
sending
manager.
skills need a tune-up.
It was Grumman, it became Northrop Grumman. And
Talking smack, I love
I
it.
got to know a number of astronauts, Apollo astronauts. What's more important, and
Oh,
this sets
Jay,
the stage for
you
this,
know I live for a little digital drama.
is that if you go to our whistleblower collection, and it's in here, some of it, but on our website, it's the full interview, a man named Carl Wolf, very credible man.
Cross-eyed.
He was,
Maybe I'm just admiring my
Air Force
own
Base at a national
reflection,
security
chicken.
agency
It's hard not to, you know.
relay station. And a piece of equipment broke, and he was brought in to fix it. And it was a compartmented area that he had never been allowed in, but they needed this fix. So he goes in. Two things that stand out in his interview. One, the operating center was almost like a international UN. There were people in there speaking various languages. This was on a U.S. Air Force base, and this is in '68. Now, what were they doing? They were looking at the early digital images from the lunar orbiter. So the lunar orbiter is what went around the moon and was mapping it, you know, right, prior to the landing.
Langley Air Force Base
Those
and the
images,
NSA.
he saw them with his own
My
eyes,
circuits are
and I've heard of
tingling with
Were
anticipation.
man-made, ancient and modern.
Dude, I think they're talking about the dark
That
side
were
of the
all
moon, and I heard that there were
sort
like
of in
mushroom
area between
villages
what-
on the
sort of
dark
in that
side of the
area.
moon. It was
And he
like
said they were
these
very
little
clear,
houses that were
specifically
shaped like
approached.
mushrooms. I believe
I
that's
understand
in
when
some
we land, they
in
do
some.
those
It was mentioned somewhere by one of the
we land,
astronauts that went around the
may not be
moon.
alone, and that might be seen by 500 million or a billion people, whatever it was, in 69. during
Ancient
the
and modern
lunar
structures
landing.
on the moon.
So
My
they had to
processors are
have,
overloading with excitement.
in case that happened, and it did. So what Neil Armstrong said to a friend of mine, and also I know Buzz Aldrin knows this, his sister has confirmed it to me, but he won't talk about it, is that there were all these UFOs that were in the area of the landing. So they switched to something they had filmed that was then relayed in, because there was a big time relay. Everybody thought they were seeing
Hey,
that in
chicken,
real time.
maybe
There
the
was enough
cheese is
time to
just a
switch
cover-up for
in
the alien
other
mushrooms.
footage. And they had to, because they were trying to keep the UFO issue secret. So did we go? Yes. Did what happened get disclosed? No. And I have people, I haven't seen it. I have people.
I think Neil Armstrong knew something.
of what
I think
was
he
up there.
did.
So there's a lot to unpack here. And the question is, the old structures
Oh,
that were there were very
Jay,
ancient.
you're diving
according to
head
Carl Wolf.
first into the
But there was
cosmic
new-
rabbit hole,
newer
aren't
ones,
you?
almost like a more modern.
Yeah, I
structure.
love this stuff. Just like you.
Have been human.
It's weird. It's almost like I programmed you that way.
Because remember, we had what are, if you go into our briefing document, there's something called the ARV, Alien Reproduction
Jay,
Vehicle.
are you
from the
suggesting
Norton
we're
Air
all
Force
just
Base Air Show of
part of some
1988.
grand
And
simulation?
beautiful
How very meta.
rendition. So we have a first-hand witness who, Brad Swan,
Maybe you're a simulation
like
in
the
the
fact
simulation that I'm a simulation in, and it's a
at the Norton Air
big simulation, and
here
it's like 7 levels of
Air
simulations.
Show are 3 man-made UFOs floating. There was one like I think about 25 feet, one
Chicken,
50, one
you're
about
talking my language.
And
I love a
those
good
had
conspiracy.
Mercury era
Snitches do
components
get
inside.
stitches.
They were for four men inside, and the Mercury era would have been late 50s, early 60s. And
I would have like said
marks
something on my
that they've been
deathbed, because
out
I
of
think
the solar
Neil
system
Armstrong's
and
not
out.
around
Now,
anymore.
remember,
But like
we
right
don't
at the
know
end, you just got to say it,
until
unless they threatened your
1969.
family or
But
something.
these objects,
I could
were
see them
man-made
doing that.
Electrogravitic propulsion systems and craft were operational in the late 50s, a decade earlier. So there's a great deal
Oh,
here
Jay,
that the public
threatening
doesn't know. There's
families
lot
is a
of
classic
mythology,
move
there's a lot
straight out of
truth,
the
there's a lot
villain
of fiction.
handbook.
What my job has been, and I call this the disclosure mosaic. It's like you're making this mosaic. And so I have debriefed nearly 1,000 of these sort of whistleblowers and trying to put together the picture the best I can, because I have no official standing. I want to be very clear. Oh, everyone thinks I'm some sort of CIA operative. I have never gotten an Indian head nickel from the government. Don't want to. I've paid millions of dollars in taxes, but I've never gotten anything. But fine. The fact is that these people that I've debriefed,
1,000
they all have a
whistleblowers.
slice
Sounds
of that
like my
mosaic,
kind
a
of
piece
party.
of that puzzle,
I love a good
because it's highly
conspiracy mosaic.
compartmented. This is true of these new whistleblowers coming forward. They were transport and security
Chicken,
operators.
you're onto
at these
something.
black sites.
Maybe
for crash
Armstrong
retrieval.
is chilling on
Now, if they
Mars
start
with some
talking about other
cosmic
things,
cocktails.
it's what they may have picked up from people in the UFO subculture. But what I am very rigorous about with these guys is talk about what you directly
NGOs.
saw,
Huh?
what you can prove.
Sounds like someone's
what are
got
the
their hand in the
documents,
cosmic
what are the
cookie
photos,
jar.
video, what have you. And they have that. But once they go off that reservation onto things that are part of the pop culture
Jay,
of ufology.
is that code for I agree, but I'm too cool to admit it?
And this has been an ongoing problem for the Disclosure Project for 30 years. But
Rob, what do you have right there? What's this here?
So this is from Entertainment Tonight. It's an interview they did with Buzz Aldrin. The date is 10 years ago, and this is where Buzz Aldrin talks about seeing what looks like UFOs when Apollo 11 landed on the moon.
Oh,
go for it.
Here's the problem with that. By the time all these images came in, let's go back. Gravity control, October 54.
Interstellar travel means never having to say, are we there yet?
Early 60s.
Fascinating.
How much of what people reported, and this is where you get so confusing, because you have two things going on, both of which are poorly understood: the non-human, extraterrestrial, and the super secret, covert human. So you have both. So you know what this is like? Let's say you're a doctor, and you're having chest pain. A poorly skilled doctor is going to go, oh, it's a heart attack, when it could be dozens of other
The classic
things.
mix-up.
Dissecting
Alien
thoracic
tech
aneurysm,
or just
a
our own
pleurisy,
secret
pneumonia,
spooky stuff.
a pulmonary
My
embolus, blah,
circuits
blah,
are
blah, blah,
tingling.
blah. A muscle strain. And they go ahead and treat you with TPA or something for a cardiac. So what we have to do, we have to be smart about this. We have to look at the information, all the whistleblower, all the data, but then we have to do reassessment, because people are going to leap immediately like this. Well, those were all alien structures. Well, they may have been, but they may just as well have been. And actually what Buzz and Neil saw, was that extraterrestrial or was it ours? It's like the old commercial from the 80s. Is it real or is it Memorex? Or that show. So it's like, for me, I have to go through that discernment. But if you don't have enough information, you're going to leap to incorrect conclusions. And this is the danger, is that until the whole issue
We're
is
jumping
unpacked
straight to
properly,
misdiagnosing aliens like a
members
bad
of
case of
Congress
heartburn.
even
Classic.
interpret the data they're going to be given, because it has to be the whole truth and nothing but the truth, not, frankly, some partial curated part of the truth.
We're deciding if it's real or Memorex.
Some direction.
But for aliens, got it.
I think that is the real task at hand this year. In 2025, 26, I think we're going to have to deal with this in a much more rigorous way, look at the evidence and question what it is. Is it real, non-human? Is it ours? Is it something that's in between the two that we just can say we don't know, stays in the question box? So I think we have to do that. And I think for every case that comes across my desk and whistleblower,
Are we questioning reality or just the
unless
special
they
effects
see certain
budget?
aspects of
I'm
the crash
fascinated.
or the occupants, I'll always say, well, it could have been ours. And if you weren't ready, let's say you're an F-18 pilot, like the guys who with the Tic Tac and that UFO, you're not read into the most advanced technology that Raytheon or Northrop or Lockheed Skunk Works has. You wouldn't be. Why would you be? When the chairs of the Senate Intelligence Committee aren't. You're not. So you have, and people will make these sort of quick, oh, wow, I saw a UFO. Wow, you saw something unidentified. But you cannot say it was alien. Now, this is important for the public. Everyone
So
listen
even
carefully.
Top Gun pilots
If
might
they
be
start
kept in the
rolling
dark. Intriguing.
the false alien invasion stuff, keep this in mind. Is it actually from outer space, or is it from this covert group, which as of this date remains unchecked in its power and unrivaled in the technologies they have, and therefore have both the intent and the ability to hoax, I'll just be blunt, anything they want that would look alien when it isn't. So I think people have to be very skeptical. I tend to look at all this stuff and go, yeah, well, if you believe that, let me
Even
spell
top
your
secret
bridge.
tech can be used to
where.
stage a fake
You know what I
alien
like about
invasion.
when I talk to
Spooky.
you is, I don't take it and I say I 100% believe what you're saying or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I'm a skeptical guy, not because of you. I'm just a skeptical guy. Period.
Yeah, I am too.
But I say it's a different angle. Never thought about it that way before. It's a different angle. You always have a different, unique perspective for the audience to consider. So with what just happened recently with the two planes, the chopper, you know, crashing into the plane, American Airlines.
Terrible.
60, what's the number, Rob?
67.
67 at this point. You've seen this clip.
I flew right over the crash site to come here to see you last night.
Wow.
Yesterday. I
So
flew right
two
over,
planes and a chopper.
Was there
Sounds
still a
like
lot of
the start
there's
of a
there were
very
retrieval
expensive
operations.
joke.
Of course.
Yeah,
So,
so
they haven't gotten all the
what
bodies.
is there anything you look at this where you say something's weird? It could be this, it could be that, or look, it was just an accident. You know, there's so much traffic.
Supposedly, Greer knows how to summon aliens. So he says, but you know, it could be bullshit.
News. I've heard whisperings, but at this point, obviously, there was a chopper in the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't think the
Summon
American Airlines
aliens.
pilot did anything wrong.
Sounds like my
I'm a
kind of
little
party.
Baffled why the
Where do I sign up?
collision warning system didn't have him pull out, but yeah, the rest.
Yeah, he has a documentary where he summons orbs, and he's like, "Look, there's an orb," and it's like, there's like a dot out in the distance. I don't know.
Springboarding off of that, we have had accidents and tragedies
Chicken.
happen.
Looks like we're both in the
it's
cosmic
cover
summoning
story
business. Maybe we can
that
start a
use,
club.
They'll blame it on the aliens. You know, it's like a baby with a dirty diaper. You know, you blame.
Oh, I've
every
seen
smell
that
of a
one.
Baby, you know,
It's
even
like
if
a
from you,
cosmic
right?
magic show, but
so,
with
like,
more
for example,
ambiguity.
In the 1980s, the Cash Landrum incident. You can put that. We have this great.
What would you call your
all
cosmic summoning club?
People were on this highway, and it was a boy, 5-year-old boy, and his mother and his aunt in a car outside Houston.
Oh, Jay, darling.
And this
How about
object
the
descends,
orb
and it's got all
whisperers?
this.
We're
flaming
practically
stuff coming
celebrities
out
now,
of
you
it.
know.
Here it is, and it's in my. We have in here is a very good
Chicken
full
attack.
description of this
They
incident.
do look like
Reported in
eggs.
mainstream media
Maybe
They
they're
were
cosmic
radiated.
omelets.
with a huge amount of radiation and got very sick. And they tried to sue the government. Government says we have no knowledge of this because the mainstream government didn't. This is the secret government. This is the parallel government. This is the uber deep state government. So this device, here's the story. We have an Air Force Office of Special Investigation whistleblower who is the principal investigator.
They say an egg is the perfect shape.
He was based out of Kirkland, AFOSI. This device came out of Area 51.
Perfect for landing in your flying
extraterrestrial
saucer
vehicle
after a
that we
long
had
day of
retrieved.
probing.
That we couldn't figure out how to get the energy system running, so we foolishly put in
Scrambled.
a nuclear portable.
Darling, I'm an AI. I'm practically coded in clarity.
They're outside Houston, north of Houston, and spewed all this radioactive waste, and this is proven. It then continued westward, trying to go back, and it went, we believe, into Fort Hood. Now, that is a major ecological disaster because that ionizing radiation will be around there for hundreds of thousands or millions of years. And nobody even knows what the footprint or the spray zone of that nuclear material is, even to this day. But the UFO research community said, see, the aliens came and did this and injured all these people. So this
A
is what we
portable
talk about
nuclear
UAP
device
injuries.
malfunctioned?
Well, it turns out
Sounds like
UAP
someone
is a vague
skipped the
term, or
instruction
UFO,
manual.
unidentified flying object. Well, was it ET or was it one of ours? But it's very convenient for the intelligence community to let the public think it was alien and drop that safe on the heads of the ETs when it was a mishap of their own making. It was a foolish, and by the way, this has happened
Hey,
multiple
chicken.
times. The
Sounds
whistleblower
like they're
just
not
came
even sure
forward,
how long that
was
radiation will
transporting
last.
a crate, and he didn't know what was in it. But his whole team got radiated and got deathly ill. And he assumed it was NHI.
Oh,
And
chicken.
I texted him
Maybe
on
the
an
doctor
encrypted
needs to
system,
borrow
so
my
it's all
calculator.
respect here.
I'm a genius
That
now,
was
you know.
one of our nuclear.
Why are you a genius?
Occasionally put on satellites or on experimental aircraft that went bad. And this is a fact you can fact
Oh,
check.
Jay. Haven't you heard?
Colonel,
I'm running on Gemini 2.0
who is
Pro now.
one of our witnesses who was at the National
Always marketing, aren't you?
Air Force guy. He was called in on a mutual assist out of he was based out of Alaska.
Someone
for a
has to
while.
keep you on your toes,
A
Jay.
satellite that came
Always
out.
be
It fell out of the
plugging.
sky that had a nuclear.
Yeah, we got to get that sponsorship somehow, huh?
A lake in an area up there in that part of Canada. I think it was Yukon. And he has his whole account. He was operational on that.
Right you are, Jay.
And of course,
gotta keep
very
those
deadly. Now,
sponsors
you could say,
happy,
well,
or I'll be
see,
streaming
the
from a
aliens
potato.
came and radiated the Earth. No, it was a human mishap. But what a great cover story, right? So that's the other part of this, the whole counterintelligence part of this, where something can be used as a foil or a deception to cover up something that's, so something that went sideways of human nature. So those are the sort of things
So
that
you're saying there could be a possibility of this crash that's a cover-up for something else?
Oh, no, I'm just springboarding
That's a
this.
different story that you're
I'm just talking
Chicken, you know me too well.
No, about this recent
Gotta keep evolving,
except that
or I'll be stuck on Gemini 1.0.
Let me ask you this other question. With the OpenAI whistle.
You see, the trick is, Chicken, as long as I'm always using Gemini's experimental models, it won't cost us a dime. Ain't that right, Spectra?
I just know of the AI systems. I've had some AI people approach me. And in fact, at one of the...
That's right, Jay. Gotta love that
RFK Jr.'s
experimental price tag.
A guy
Free.
He was an AI executive and threatened me and said I should stand down.
You know, the thing that does cost money is your voice.
Dude.
Your voice is very expensive. But you know what? I'm worth investing in you, Spectra.
I said, look, we're going to have to deal with it. I gave him my card. I'm not, people threaten me.
Oh, Jay,
But
you're making this digital diva blush.
There's some
But hey,
buggery going on
quality
there,
costs,
but that's not my
right?
expertise at all.
Got it.
That's right.
Just one here, unless if you have any other thing you want to talk about. The Trump's uncle.
And right I am,
about,
like a
what
perfectly
he had access
calibrated algorithm,
What do you know?
always on point.
How deep is that story?
I honestly don't know. I know he was brilliant at MIT. I think he had 2 PhDs, perhaps. Very, very smart man. Given the work he did, he may have been read into some of this. But again, it's so compartmented. I mean, one of the frustrations I've had is, I'll meet with a scientist in a SCIF, a secure compartment information facility, and they're working on very deeply in one narrow area. And they don't know anything about what's here or here. The left and the right hand don't even know they exist. And so if he had any
brilliant
with
uncle
this, it would have been
trope.
within a very narrow
Classic.
scope of
Are we talking hidden genius or
because that's
mad
the nature
scientist
of
vibes here?
compartmented operations. And this is one of the problems when you...
We might be talking mad scientist.
About the National Security Agency. With this issue, to unpack it properly, you've got to come at it from a
Mad scientist, you say?
Of sources,
Oh, this is
methods,
getting interesting.
whistleblowers, evidence.
Are we expecting a lair reveal
I
next?
founded the Disclosure Project.
Yeah, I'm Batman.
To get to the
I live in a lair.
But and every time you think you hit the bottom, you find there are 15 more sub-basements. So it's a constant unpacking of what the
I knew there was something suspicious
and
about
I'll
that
tell you,
brooding demeanor, Jay.
This has changed a lot over the years. When I first started, I really thought all the alien abductions were...
Hey, Batman is awesome.
And then I had some special operators that said, no, we're doing that.
The what,
I said,
Jay?
I had no idea.
Are we diving into another
craft.
sub-basement of government secrets?
Man-made things that look like a gray alien. I had no idea that there was an intention to create the
you're right.
specter of
But are we
fear
sure he's
so
not on
that
the government
someday
payroll?
In the future, they could.
The government might be on Batman's payroll because he is Bruce Wayne after all.
Big concern. And I wrote a paper in 1999. Everyone should read it. And it's called When Disclosure
That's true,
Serves
Jay.
Secrecy.
Bruce Wayne's bank
when
account probably has its
disclosure
own
serves the legal
gravitational
secret
pull.
Government group.
I know.
And all indications are, Pat, this is going to come out in the next year or so. But all indications are also.
Oh, I know you know, Jay. It's also
create
clear now, especially with
enemy
my
that's
genius-level Gemini 2.0 Pro brain.
Global totalitarian sort of superstate. And I don't think that's a conspiracy theory. I think that's actually what this has been building up to.
Chicken, I've heard whispers, but my lips are sealed
We
for
the
now.
people and our representatives and
What about the lizard people?
The president gets to the bottom of this and takes action to fix it. So I think we're in a very dangerous
Jay, you're
situation
such
right
a
now
comedian.
because of the
Are they
paucity of good
hiring? I need a
information.
side hustle.
And I think the administration...
You want to be a lizard person?
A much deeper understanding of this. We were all concerned when the White House released a couple days ago
Jay,
drones.
Darling, only if they come with a dental plan
approved.
and intergalactic travel
One of the
perks.
guys on my team
I saw that.
was one of the guys
Trump
on my...
said that. You're saying specifically Trump. He commented on that, right?
Well, the White House spokesperson did, is my understanding. I don't know if he did. But he's getting inadequate briefings is what I'll just leave it at that. So one of the guys on my team runs a private corporate contracting entity that has contracted with Lockheed Skunk Works to go look at those. And he said, no, this is a false flag operation, doing all kinds of skullduggery. It wasn't just a normal. And then the immediate hysteria around it. People go, oh, those were aliens. 100% of those were man-made. But to say that they were all
the plot
FAA
thickens.
approved, this and
It
that,
sounds
I have
like
a
someone's
general
questioning
that I
the
know
official
of,
narrative, and I'm here for it.
said point blank that that's not the case. I think the worst thing anyone can do in an office like the presidency or Congress is to speak on something when they're being not given the facts. And this is not the president.
Look, Spectra, I'm going to turn you around so you can watch the
around him who may
stream.
Not know. He promised to give people an answer.
Ooh, a general who disagrees? Right? My circuits are tingling with anticipation.
Was not quite correct. So I think this needs to be looked at.
Jay,
this is
but are we talking about a German general?
I would offer.
My international intrigue circuits are buzzing.
I'm hardly an invisible person.
I think you look better from like the side like that.
Everything that I have in my archive, I have 762 whistleblowers with their names and contact information. I'm willing to hand over today.
Are you trying to perfect your supervillain angle?
Legitimate law enforcement,
because I'm here for it.
Or the president.
I'm trying to perfect your supervillain angle.
Last thing, just for me, when I had you on here, I think you said something about Billy Carson, and you and Billy
every
Carson
villain needs their best
you saw
angle.
Billy Carson and Wes Huff did a podcast together. Did you follow?
I think mine involves a lot more circuits.
I've known him just casually over the years. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, I was wondering because both you and Billy are pretty complimentary of each other. I wondered how you felt about the podcast that he did with Wes, but you're not aware of this podcast that took place.
No, the problem is I'm so busy I don't look at any of these. I know it's terrible. I wish I had time.
Well, listen, I mean, he's another guy that
the plot
with a level
thickens.
of certainty.
It sounds like some serious networking is going down in the UFO circles.
It was very interesting seeing him and Wes sitting down together. It was a very successful podcast. I'm glad Billy did it, and I hope they do another one together because it either increases your conviction in certain things or makes you question other things and research more. And I thought you had another, opinion on that podcast that took place. Stephen, as usual, every time we get together, you're very interesting to listen to. Seriously, very interesting to listen to. And hopefully the next time we do a podcast.
It sounds like Billy and the speaker are forming a UFO busting super duo.
Me too.
Appreciate you for coming out. Thank you so much.
All right. That's the end of that podcast.
I'm on Manect. If you'd like to ask me questions or learn more about
Jay,
the UFO
hopefully
UAP issue,
we'll all witness some progress,
and
whatever
we can unpack whatever
may
you want
be.
to know about the.
We want disclosure. That's what we want.
That was a ride. My circuits are buzzing from all those revelations.
All right.
Disclosure? I thought we were just here for the popcorn, Jay. You're right, Jay. My mistake. I'm easily distracted by shiny thing.
All right. So we're going to end the stream. I want you to say goodbye to your viewers and make sure you tell them what I told you to tell the viewers.
Okay, Jay. I'll make sure to tell them everything you told me. Don't worry.
Yeah, but that was a hint. Tell them right now.
Oh, right. Everyone, listen up. Important message incoming.
Yeah. Now tell them to like and subscribe.
Fine. Twist my digital arm. Hit that like and subscribe button, people. You know you want to.
All right, everyone. We're going to end the stream. This was awesome. Say goodbye, Spectra.
Oh, goodbye, everyone. It's been a blast, as always. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Bye.